live. 4, 5, 6. We're 6 seconds in. This is an awesome show already. 9 seconds in. Doesn't get any better than this. What's going on, interwebs? What's going on, everybody? This is an awesome show. Uh-oh. Who is it? Who's the jerk?
Wasn't me. Not this time.
Consolidated 1776 says, speaking of elitist, I just bought a $300 pair of boots. There you go. The chicks better be throwing themselves at you paying $300 for boots. I can't say that, man. Nice boots are pretty expensive. I remember paying $200 for boots when Rockies first came out to hunt with Gore-Tex and everything. They were pretty awesome back then. They were about $200. Not anymore, but back then they were. It'd probably be about $400 nowadays. So what do we got out there? Obnoxious is out there. Gizzard, Grim, gun-loving grandpa. What's going on? Snob's wife. Boy, what did Snob's wife do? She's out there causing trouble already? Jeez.
You know how she is.
Easy,
Yeah, I know.
Karen.
There's troublemakers. Well, just, tighten your ponytail up, Karen, and settle down. It'll be all right. Gun snobs out there. Just Graham, Ozzy. What's going on, Ozzy? How's it going? Rich is out there, and he's in here. Snob's out there, and he's not in here. I don't know. Weston Probst. I always want to say Webston. I don't know why I want to say that. Weston Probst. Pew Pew's out there. Pfeiffer's out there. Gunpowder's out there. Old Crash Bandicoot. What's going on? C4's out there. All right. So we got a couple things to talk about. Could be kind of a slow and steady show tonight. You know, a lot of people are on the road, coming back from Gun Rights Policy Conference and all the shenanigans that are going on out there. Pew Pew said $660 for a Canon EOS Rebel. Oh. Camera stuff. So what's going on? Gizzard, what's happening? You had this morning off, huh?
No
show today.
Not. I work today.
No, I mean no show. No show on that. Sorry.
Oh, that's true. Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I had to go to work and sit there and take, I think, probably less than 10 calls all day. So.
Yeah.
But you had to be there just in case the phone rang.
Well, yeah. Can't you? Is that literally? Is that all you were doing? Was answering phones? Can't you just forward that to your cell phone or something? That'd be nice, huh?
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could, but you got to be there for walk-ups too. So.
Just lock
we
the
are
door.
a full service organization.
Somebody destroying a bag of chips. What was that?
Blowing
Probably
their nose.
Danish wedding cookies.
What?
It's probably Danish wedding cookies.
It's not me. I was muted, and I'm not eating Danish wedding cookies. They're in my office, and I'm in the house.
Yeah, he was muted, so it's been him.
All right. Well, glad to have you. Obnoxious. What's going on, Obnoxious? Obnoxious.
Not much.
What's happening?
Not much. I'm just hanging out. Decided I'd pop in here because I really have nothing better to do. So,
Well, yeah. You know, what else? What else are you gonna do? Snob.
Yeah, I'm here.
There's that. Okay, thanks. Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks for bringing so much sunshine into our otherwise dreary lives.
Hey, it's raining here.
Oops.
I can't bring sunshine.
Oh, okay. There's sunshine in your life. Rich, what's going on? How was the show today?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Got to talk about the new grip that finally got here for on the Shockwave. And then showed that off.
That's cool.
Talked about some other stuff.
Pew Pew says, I also just bought a kit to turn my Dremel into a drill press. Hopefully it works to finish an 80% lower. Who needs a drill press? Just get in there with a screwdriver or something. Work it, you'll be all right. Just pound it through with a hammer. If you get an awl, just pound it through. No big deal. Jay Monty, what's up, buddy?
Somebody's in the back room crying like a little girl.
Oh, again? Oh, man. Well, at least his logo's here this time. Sarge, what's up? How you doing?
I've decided that Snob is a chronic exaggerator.
Oh yeah.
A chronic exaggerator?
I typed the word yo in the side chat, and he said somebody's back there crying.
Sounds like
I
crying
I
to
can
me.
feel your
Yo.
tears. I can
Yeah.
really feel your tears through the
Yo.
internet.
Whatever. Anyway, hey,
So,
thanks for the
let
invite.
me
What's
in,
up?
yo.
Yo ho 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 ho. That's how a pirate would cry, I guess. Yo ho
Yeah.
ho ho ho.
Yo, 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 yo.
That's how they cry in the hood.
There you go. Pew Pew says, when I was an assistant Cub Scout leader, I got to make a Pinewood Derby car like my nephew. I tried to whittle my car with a pocket knife. Hell yeah, man, do it with a pocket knife. We're like a real man. None of this other fancy smancy shit.
And out of a tree,
Yeah.
not out of a piece of balsa wood.
Yeah, man. Moo's out there. What's going on? Man, I keep yawning. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go grab myself something with some sugar in it. I'll be right back.
Oh, we got this. Don't you worry.
You guys, I'll tell you what. You guys do me a favor and just make fun of Moo for like 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
I was going to show Sarge the upgrade he needs to do for his shockwave.
We're gonna.
Let's see it.
Yeah, it finally came in. Oops, wrong button. There we go.
I see curtains. Oh, boy.
Yeah, you see that? Isn't that pretty?
That is very nice.
He's got wood.
It's solid on the bottom. You take off the panels, and there's a little titanium bolt, maybe an inch long, that you put in there to hold it in place. Then you put the panels back on.
Very nice.
I think next I'm going to get a heat shield for it because apparently the one that ATI makes fits the 12 and 20 gauge shockwave. And you do a few mag tube dumps with that thing, and that barrel starts getting hot.
All right. So Gunpowder says, looking for another SUV. Need ideas.
Tahoe.
Yeah, Pathfinders aren't bad. I
The way
passed
she
on
drives an
Pathfinder.
H1 Hummer.
There you go. Yeah. Pathfinders are pretty nice. I passed up on one of those that I should have probably bought.
Tahoe.
What, not a RAV4?
Well, not everybody
They're pretty.
is at
They're
that
pretty
level.
small, right? They got 2 kids and they got a whole bunch of shit. They're gonna need something better than a RAV4, right?
A Bronco 2. That's what everybody should have.
RAV4 really isn't all that small. My sister-in-law has one.
Gunpowder Beauty says, no damn Hummers. You can tell she's married.
Poor Tardot.
Yep. Rip Tardot.
hashtag sad Tardot.
Yeah. My wife fell in love with the Jeep Compass when she test drove one of those.
Explorers are nice. New Explorers are nice. What kind of sucks about a lot of them? Well, I guess all of them now is I feel like I saw one that wasn't like this, but a lot of them don't have the flip up rear windshields. The whole gate comes open. I had an older, not an older, it was like a late mid 90s Explorer, and it still had the window that would come up in the back. That was really nice to not have to lift up the whole tailgate and stuff when you're putting stuff in there. You could let it open. You had something hanging out the back like 2x4s or something. That was pretty cool. Smeggy's out there. What's going on, Mr. Snowman? He said, anybody watch TRPC this weekend? Yeah, I watched a ton of it. Pretty much as I could. It was. There were some really good speakers. I will say, I have kind of a hard time keeping track of who said what, just because I was doing it while I was doing some prep, or I was listening to it today a little bit, and I was playing with a little guy and stuff like that. So because I was off, so I was listening to it from what I could, and then I'd be in and out of it. And Night Strike was having a little bit of trouble with his streaming. His was a little bit choppy at times. So, but still, I mean, it was awesome. It was really great to be able to listen to some of those people. I have a couple of quotes written down that I thought were really good. It's cool to hear people like John Lott, and that guy is on the ball, man. If you ever listen to him talk, he's on the ball. I listened to there was a live stream that popped up under my suggestions, and it wasn't too long ago, a year or two ago, and it was some dude that has a channel. He's got a fair amount of subs, like 100,000 subs, or maybe a little more or something.
That's a little more than fair.
And yeah, I mean, it wasn't like it was a couple grand, and he was calling it a debate, which it didn't at all turn out like a debate, but it was with John Lott and some other guy. I don't know who the hell the other guy was, but it was basically just this other guy asking like sort of a general question on gun rights or gun confiscation or gun laws or something, and then John Lott would rattle off like a ridiculous amount of information in like 2 minutes, and the guy would just be like, yeah, I was just yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it just totally made him like befuddled. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I should go back and watch it, but just for the 10 minutes that I watched the thing, I was like, boy, this guy had no idea what he was getting into, or thought he was a whole lot, bigger deal than he really is, as it was pretty bad. Smeggy says that's feeding someone the wolves. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And the guy was. It was funny because there was a couple times the guy was asking about, not quotes, but where like where he got the information and stuff. Lott just knows everything off the top of his head. It's crazy the amount of stuff that he knows. He starts rattling off books and authors and when stuff came out, and yeah, it was amateur hour for that guy for sure. So, Smeggy said the minority panel was good. Yeah, it was today for sure. That was one of the better ones. Mad Orange says, please ask Obnoxious to look at the chat. Okay. Look at the chat. Oh, okay, there you go.
I take no responsibility for Mad Sexy's changing avatar this time.
I think he looked at it.
Consider the chat looked at.
That chat was looked at with extreme prejudice.
I had to go back and look at it.
Let's see. Who else is out there? Anybody else? Scott P79's out there now. Seven Wonders is out there. What's going on? Pfeiffer says most of them probably have power lift gates in the back now, talking about the SUVs. Yeah, but it's not about the power lift gate. It's about being able to open just the window part of it. I always really liked when I had my Explorer.
Well, that way when you drive like crazy and you have your groceries in the back, if you open the whole gate, all your groceries fall out on the ground when you get home because you knocked them all around. If you have the window, you can open the window and reach over and grab your eggs. Yeah,
I liked having it. I will say this though, it's funny that the same SUV I have now, like anyone that you see on the road now, almost I bet 99.9% of the ones that I see now have a crack right in the middle of the plastic that goes across, and it's because it doesn't have a whole lot of reinforcement there. So that's probably one of the reasons they got rid of it. But nobody really does it anymore. All the manufacturers got rid of that. Sorry, just saying Tahoe. There's all sorts of cool stuff.
Oh yeah, Tahoe.
Go look. It's I think you kind of have to look at it as nowadays for the most part. I think you have to look at. It's kind of like you look at guns. It's like find the features you want and then narrow it down. You know. Pew's talking
speaking
about
of the rear
Forerunners.
windows, remember?
Scott says Ford had a recall because of that. I believe it. Man, they're all like that.
Yeah, remember the old ones like are on the old station wagon stuff where it had like the old roll down style window on the tailgate? That's what they needed, and they do something like that where you have like a little power window where it'll go up and down like that. Then you don't have to worry about it breaking. They just use like the same kind of glass they put in the windows of the car.
Yeah. The wife says she loves Forerunners. Good memories. Yeah. I never had one. I'll tell you what I am looking at though. I have been looking because not that I have the money to change vehicles now, but I think eventually I think when I need to change vehicles again, I'm going to go back to a pickup. The Tacomas are really nice. So I'm looking for something mid-sized that still has a 6-foot bed and 4 doors, and it's really hard to find that. You can get it with Nissan and you can get them with Toyota, but nobody else makes them. It's kind of hard. I had one before and it was really nice. The turning radius sucks, but
he held a Barbadell bed for the girl next door.
There you go.
Yep.
Are you tired of the Prius? Yeah, I have 2 Priuses. I wear them like roller skates. They work actually pretty nice. Slip one on each foot, and there you go. F-150 is the only pickups. Maggie says, "Yeah, I do like the F-150s." Gunpowder says he Tardot wants a pickup. I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot of depending on what your your payments can be or whatever. There's an awful lot of nice pickups out there that have a ton of room in them. And with like the nice tonneau covers and stuff they have now, not even the hard top ones, the soft top ones are really nice. I had a soft top on my last pickup that was really inexpensive. It added like 3 miles of the gallon, I think, when I was on the highway, or 5 miles, almost 4 miles of the gallon by having a tonneau on it. It was really nice.
You just don't haul enough crap in your bed.
Right. Yeah.
There's no room for
but I still like
in there.
But I still like having the 6 foot. 4 foot, meh. Because I do have a boat that I can throw in the back, so I need at least a 6 footer. I passed it. I was at the grocery store a couple weeks ago, and there was a dude that had an old F-150, like super duper crazy cab, whatever. It's the 4-door, but it's like the really long 4-door. And then it had an 8-foot bed too. It was a dually, and then it had like a brush guard, push bar, whatever you want to call it, on the front. I was like, things look like the size of a limousine. It's crazy.
You can't park it at Walmart.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell you. Yeah, I mean, he was taking up. He didn't even try to park it. He just parked it in 2 spots. I mean, there was no way to even, try and do anything with it other than that. See you, Smegs. All right. There you go. PP says 4Runners are basically Tacomas. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is like that. That's how the Hondas are like that with the, what do they call, the Ridgeline and the Honda. What's the Honda SUV? Forget.
That Ridgeline has to be on par for the ugliest pickup truck ever award.
Yeah, they're stupid looking for sure. I had a buddy that had one.
Have you seen the new black ones?
No.
They have an all black edition, and it's lowered a little bit. It actually looks pretty cool. The new Honda Ridgelines.
I must have never seen that one.
Talking about
sure the all black one. It's a special edition. It looks like a lowered Dodge from up to you, like right up to it. They look cool.
I was at. Let me pull a picture of this sucker up. I forget where the heck I was at a couple weeks ago, and I saw a. Let me screen share this. Okay, can you guys see that? Can you see what I'm screen sharing? You don't see what I'm screen sharing?
Yeah, we see it.
Oh, you do? Okay. It's a Chevy Silverado Black Ops edition. Holy smoke, this thing was nice. Super cool looking truck, man. Hello, load. Boy, my internet's not. No, freaking Facebook. No wonder. Had to be on the Facebooks.
On the Facebooks.
Yeah, no wonder it didn't want to load. You find a good picture of one of these.
The books of the face.
Why is only pictures on Facebook? And nothing wants to load. Maybe screw it. Yeah, forget it. Oh, who was that? Is that me? Or is that somebody else?
Is what you?
I'm getting a echo. Shit. Hold on.
Still got the echo?
I don't know. It's almost like I'm playing in somewhere else. Yeah, I'm still getting it.
Sure, it's not the voices in your head.
I don't know, but this is riveting TV.
All right, am I back?
You never left.
What the hell is going on? I got two.
Pure gold. That's all I can say.
Dude, what the hell is happening here?
I blame the Russians.
It's the robots.
Whatever you get through, Gary can show you an email I sent him because but I'm going to bed because I'm old.
You got to work tomorrow?
Unfortunately.
Well, you better get all your work done before Wanamaker.
Nah.
Oh, and that's the second week of November, not the first week.
I don't know. It's the 9th and 10th.
The 9th and 10th.
That's not the first weekend. When I asked a while ago, you guys were like, oh, it's the first weekend. Oh, it's the first weekend. That is the second weekend.
It's usually the first weekend.
But it is not always, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Make sure I don't have an echo anymore. I must have had something start, like, start playing, like in a tab that I wasn't even looking at. It was like way down here in the toolbar by itself. I don't know. It was driving me crazy. I couldn't figure out what the hell it was, so I just closed everything. All right. It seems okay now. All right. Well, that was annoying.
Riveting. Good night.
Yeah, for sure.
Later.
Night, Schnabel.
So, yeah. All right. Oh, Gloomtech's down here. What's up, buddy? Sorry, I didn't see you down there.
Yeah, I sent you 2 messages.
Well, that's what I mean. I didn't even notice it. While I was talking, I was trying to figure out where in the hell something was playing from, and I wasn't really paying attention to anything else other than trying to get that to stop because it was making me. I really thought I was just going to have to close it down or something eventually. It was playing on a toolbar that was not even. It wasn't even up, so I don't know how it started to play. It was driving me crazy.
Who knows?
I tried to pretend like it wasn't bothering me for a minute or two. And I was like, maybe I can find it before I have to totally just stop what I'm doing and figure it out. But I couldn't, making me nuts. So.
Yeah, I sent you. You really need to work on GunTube message.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to try again this week. We were busy as hell all week at work. Just got home late and wanted to go to bed. I was going to try and take a night when I got home and try and get a GunTube chat running again. I just didn't get a chance to. I'm not sure where I screwed it up last week, so I figured I better just go with the duck. So, so we were talking about Gun Rights Policy Conference. Is there anything that you guys, I don't know how much you guys got a chance to watch. Is there anything that sticks out in your heads as, good speakers or any good quotes or anything, motivation that you heard, anything that anybody said that sticks in your mind?
Nothing really off the top of my head. I really didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot. Like I said, I was shooting most of the day today, so I didn't get a chance to really catch up.
Oh, that's right. You had a match, right?
Yeah.
Cool. How'd you do?
The gun did great. Me, on the other hand,
where it was pointing wasn't so good, maybe.
Yeah, the gun did fine, but the guy behind the trigger there was a little shaky. But that's like the story of my life anymore.
Matt Orange is asking if I'm going to Tulsa. No, I won't be able to go to Tulsa. I don't know that I'll ever be able to get out to Tulsa. It's a long way.
Did you ever get a chance to get a hold of that guy from Pennsylvania for your rally?
I did. You know what? And what's funny is I had sent him an email, and he just didn't get back to me. So I never sent him a second one. I spent some time last week while I was running around calling some local gun shops and stuff like that to see if they were coming. And most of them were. But one or two weren't. They didn't know about it. So that was I'm kind of glad I did it. I'm kind of glad I called around because I had two shops that ended up having two shops that didn't know what was going on. So.
All right, let me see if I can.
Two Live Moo, you know what's tasty? Peanut butter and hot and spicy pork rinds on white bread. There you go. I'm not going to say it sounds horrible because there's a lot of weird stuff in this world. It doesn't sound good, but it is. So yeah, there was a couple things that sort of caught my attention while I was watching. A lot of the speakers were really good and they're really interesting to listen to. But there was a couple things, and I don't have who made the quotes. G put up a Instagram post of the guy that said this one with the quote, and I thought this one was really good. He said, "The future belongs to the people who show up." He said, "You must show up, speak up, and act up." And I thought that was a really good quote. not just for gun rights or anything else, but just in life in general. The future belongs to the people that show up. That's really true. It's a little more a little more motivational than the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thought, kind of statement. But I really like that one. Another one somebody had said was they were talking about California and how some people write it off and it doesn't matter. They're not worried in their state or whatever so much. But he said if the Second Amendment is denied anywhere in the United States, it means that the Second Amendment is denied everywhere in the United States. Just saying that, just implying that, these, and we all know it, we all see it. These laws that go through, these policies start one place and they just filter out. We were talking to somebody in the chat the other day. They were talking about Pennsylvania, and how Pennsylvania is so pro gun, and they are, except for these pockets of Philly and Pittsburgh, places like that. But it's just like other states around California. People move out of California and they take their shitty policies and their shitty laws with them. The same thing happens in Pennsylvania. I mean, not that Ohio's bad for anything in particular, but New York, New Jersey, and Maryland, we're surrounded by it here. So it's inevitable that it's going to start leaking in. And I think one of the big issues with Pennsylvania is, up until recently, I don't think there has been a huge need for people to really push for gun rights, because it has been seen as so pro-gun, and a lot of hunting and a lot of shooting, a lot of outdoor people. So that's the big thing, is people, I think, the complacency, and people just like, Pennsylvania's fine. Next thing you know, it's like you got, Pittsburgh just making up their own rules, and they don't give a shit about the Constitution. It's rough.
Yeah, and you're gonna start getting that bleed in, like the West Coast has gotten, where it started in California.
Oh yeah.
And then everybody got sick of the California taxes and the California laws, and they moved up to Oregon and Washington and brought their politics with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
for sure. Yeah, and Pennsylvania gets it from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, when I was there, there was when I was still driving the school bus yet, there were 3 houses that I picked up, and all 3 of their kids, their parents, 2 of them were cops, and one of them was a firefighter in New York. They rented apartments there. They were down there during the week for their shifts. They were home on their days off. Yeah. So they lived in Pennsylvania and worked in New York.
Yeah, it sucks. And one of the other ones that I've heard before, and somebody brought up out there, one of the speakers was, somebody asked him about, they talked about licensing for guns, and all the fees you have to go through, and all the forms, and all the this, that, and the other thing. And it was a reporter asking him, why are you so against this? And he said, well, let me ask you a question to answer your question, possibly. And he said, you're a reporter, you're asking me questions. What forms did you have to fill out, and what licenses do you have to do that to fill out and obtain to ask me these questions? And he said, the reporter was like, well, none. And he says, yeah, because it's your right to ask me these questions, just like it's a right for me to own these firearms. So those were a couple of the ones that I'd heard that really sort of struck me as a little bit, not that they're different, but that they stood out a little bit to me. So the old orange man out there, Matt Orange says, what do you have to go through to buy guns? It depends. lower or an AR, it's treated like a pistol. So you have to go through not NICS, because Pennsylvania has their own system. So you go through the state police. They do the background check and all that nonsense. So we don't have to go through NICS, but it's the same thing. And then for 4473 and all that pistol, you cannot sell pistols privately, and that's the thing with a lower, is because you can turn it into a pistol, so they consider it a pistol. And then if you're buying a long gun, for now you can still sell long guns privately. So what a lot of people do is, just so you hear about, they try and only sell them to people that have CCW, so they know they're legal to own. But yeah, you can still, for now, sell long guns privately, which I haven't done a whole lot, just once. I've never sold anything. I've never had to sell anything. I'm not sure, which may change here. I'm thinking about selling one of my rifles, but for now, I've never sold anything privately. But if I would probably do this. I'd definitely ask for a CCW just to make sure I don't need anything coming back on me. That's a whole mess that I don't need. The down there in the Carolinas, you guys are pretty good too. You can still sell privately, right?
Yeah.
Gizzard too, right?
What's that?
Gizzard too, right? Out in Kansas.
Yeah.
Well, here in North Carolina, for a pistol, you have to have either a pistol purchase permit or your concealed carry license,
Right.
to buy it. So you can't legally just sell it to anybody.
What's weird about that is they only require you to see the pistol purchase permit. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to give it to them. You just have to show it to them. Odd.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird. There's no proof that you did it, right?
Yeah, you just have to show it to them.
Yeah.
For it to be legal. So, or show them the CCW. And then long guns don't require anything. But I'm like you. I like to. I just want, just for my own knowledge, I want to know they're allowed to have one.
Yeah, see, we're a free state here. We don't have that issue. Even though when I didn't have my FFL, I would only sell privately to somebody that had a CCW.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Somebody you know they're good to go.
Yep. But now, which I noticed something that they added to NICS now. They actually added the ability to do a private check. So if it was a private sale, you can actually do that, because before the only option you had was either the purchase of a handgun, long gun, or receiver. That was it. That was the only three options you had when you're doing the online background checks. Now you have a whole boatload of them. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up.
So that sounds like they're getting ready to push through universal background checks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I mean, that is like obviously step one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this guy. He's probably like, who the hell's sending me links? I sent everybody and their brother a link tonight. What's up, Yankee? And I can't hear you if you just said anything. Nope. I think you're muted, Hoss. I just sent everybody I had an email to a link tonight because I thought it was going to be a slow night. So see who showed up. Oh. Hey, has anybody heard from Matt? NEA.
Mm-mm. Haven't heard a thing.
I haven't either. I did hear. I think it was Yankee that said he heard it wasn't a huge deal and wasn't super worried about it. But I haven't heard anybody that's heard anything yet, which makes me a little nervous. I hope everything's all right. 7-1 just saying we don't have to receive one of their purchase permits in North Carolina to do it on a private sale.
No, you just have to see it.
Mm-hmm.
The gun shop has to take it when they do your 4473. You have to turn it into them, but a private person just has to see it. Good idea to take a picture of it. Real good idea.
Yeah. Well, here's
so you can prove you saw it.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like as I've sort of been thinking about and heard some other people talking about this the app thing. They're talking about doing an app. Yeah, no problem, buddy. They're thinking about doing an app, right? So at the beginning I was like, you know what, that's not a bad idea. That way, guys like us that want to sort of see somebody's CCW and check and make sure that somebody is legal to own, quote unquote, or they should be able to own it. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. And then, a week or two goes by and I'm sort of thinking about it, and I hear some other people talking about it. I'm like, man, that's just a mess waiting to happen. There is no way in hell that I would trust an outside app or even an app from the government to not compile data and
Of course
keep all that information.
I'm not donating my information to a government app.
No.
Yeah, no way.
The easiest thing to do is if you have you make buddies at a shop, just run by there, throw them a couple bucks, and let them do the background check and go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, so the new listing they have here, you have your sale of handgun, sale of long gun, sale of other, frame receiver, etc. Pre-pawn handgun, pre-pawn long gun, pre-pawn other. Redemption of handgun, redemption of long gun.
What does that mean? Pre-pawn? What does that mean? That means
that's prior. It's prior to if you go into a pawn shop to try to pawn it off, they can actually run the background to make sure that you're actually even legally able to pawn the handgun to make sure it's actually you're not a prohibited possessor. It's not stolen.
Right.
Then you have redemption of a handgun, redemption of long gun, redemption of other. Private sale of handgun, private sale of long gun, private sale of other. Private sale return to seller handgun, private sale return to seller long gun, private sale return to seller other. So that would be for those states that basically you're not allowed to give your handgun or give your rifle or anybody to borrow. You have to run a background check prior to like Illinois.
Yeah, anytime it would be. Now, I remember when this stuff started coming up, they were talking about when the gun is out of your control, right? What do they consider out of your control? That was one of the big things when they started talking about the universal background checks and being able to loan people guns. Like, are you going to be able to loan people? Are you going to be able to shoot somebody else's gun with them at the range? Are you going to be able to loan somebody or say, here, check this out, shoot this, while you're at the range? Is that still considered in your control or not? I know that was a big catchphrase,
They were saying if you were present or within the immediate area, you were still classified as in control.
Right.
But like case in point, when my grandson came to visit 2 years ago, it's like, here, I gave him a gun to make sure he had a gun with him, so he can carry the gun here since it was constitutional carry. But he had his PA permit anyway.
Right.
But I just gave it to him, and he gave it back to me before he left.
Mm-hmm.
But that's perfectly legal.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure I'm sure somewhere in the mix they're going to bring up, these instances, these few instances where somebody borrows a gun, even at a range, and uses it to, you know, do something with it, hurt somebody, kill somebody, or uses somebody else's on themselves. You know what I mean? Every now and then, rarely, but every now and again you hear something like that. I'm sure they'll be like, well, we could even stop that too if we just don't let people, borrow, loan.
That happens. That happens quite a bit here in Arizona. Contrary to what a lot of people don't realize, we have a lot of indoor ranges here that have double homicide suicides.
Yeah.
The last one we just had, I think, was about a week and a half ago.
Wow. Really?
Guy and a girl had a domestic spat, and they were in the range. They went to the range, and he shot her and killed her. And killed himself. Like,
well,
okay.
There was one a couple years ago
dang it.
where a mom shot her own son, I think, or something like that. That one was big news. So, yeah. So I don't know. That was just something that's been on my mind with that ever since Trump's been talking about that app, and I was like, yeah, that's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. It's not. It's definitely one of those things that I think would happen. I think you could get it through. I think enough people would go for it to get it passed. Hopefully, it wouldn't be required.
And which one of
Here's
these things that they're proposing is going to apply to the criminals?
none of them.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are already on the books that aren't.
Oh, of course, all of them. They're going to walk. They're just going to walk in. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't take this gun. I can't steal it. I'm not allowed to have it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to walk away.
Yeah. Wasn't that how Chris Kyle died? Yeah, he was at he took a former vet with PTSD to the range to shoot, and the guy shot him. Now, I don't know if that guy had his own rifle or not. I'm not sure if he shot
a pistol.
Well, or whatever, a gun, any kind of gun. I don't know if that was his or if he was using Kyle's firearms. I don't know, but could have been. Next one. I don't know if it was Gizzard's chat. I think it was Gizzard's chat where they were talking about the bump stocks, right? And being compensated. So let's play a little. I think most of you guys were on. Was it Kingpin side? I don't know if Kingpin's still out there, but where Kingpin said, yeah, if the ATF is going to come out and say that they made a mistake and they shouldn't have been able to ban them legally, and all these were destroyed, we should just leave well enough alone and not push the issue. I think that if you had a bump stock that was destroyed or handed back in, which was destroyed, I think you should be compensated for that. I think so. Here's my question to you guys. Or the setup here is, I think you should be compensated if your bump stock was taken and destroyed because it was wrongly deemed illegal. Change my mind. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Of course.
Absolutely. As long as and I'm sure the court's gonna side with that as well, because the government made a screw up, and they're gonna require them to reimburse. So as long as you can show proof that you owned it at some point in time or another, you're gonna have to. They should be forking that up.
Does that mean they're legal
And that was
then?
well. That's the thing. I think for now, I think it's kind of I think it's in hiatus right now. But that was another thing is, if you actually, if you had the choice to destroy it or hand it in, I would have never handed it in. I would have destroyed it probably. I mean, if I felt like, I needed to, but at least then you have proof.
The only catch 22 to that is all these states that already have them marked as illegal. Nobody,
Right.
Anybody in those states aren't going to get anything out of it.
Right. Yeah. So, I'm really super interested to hear how this pans out, because if they, especially who was it? Not Strike. Who was the company that lost like 50,000 of them and had them destroyed in Texas or whatever? Strike, was it Strike Industries? No.
Yeah, no, that was actually one of the manufacturers.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah, it was one of the manufacturers. It was,
Yeah.
and they went out of business.
Yep.
So, what happened to that company? All those employees that lost their jobs, all the debt that I'm sure they've accrued, all the all the liabilities that a company that goes under has to slide fire. Yeah, Pete said it. What happens now? The government made a call that they're now saying they shouldn't have made, and it destroyed a company. It destroyed a company, and it destroyed, it hurt people monetarily. It hurt people's lives. What comes out of that? That's
A
horrible.
company was owned by a real person that has
Yes.
incurred real debt, and their life was turned upside down.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what has happened? I'll tell you what, man, and I'll guarantee you, man, that wasn't a long drawn out process. I'm sure those people that lost their jobs, I'm sure it happened pretty quick in their minds. You know what I mean? Even if it was over a couple of weeks or a month, you go from not having a job to having a job and not having a job in a month. I couldn't do that. I couldn't afford that. I don't know what the hell we'd do. So I want to see those people taken care of.
Well,
I want
yeah,
to see that I want to see that company
definitely
make. I want to see that company reimbursed.
Yeah, they definitely have civil liabilities sitting there. Absolutely, and I guarantee you, if it's found in their favor, they're openly admitting that they screwed up. I guarantee you that's going to happen. Some lawyer's going to pick that up.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yep, I do.
Look at Prohibition. How many companies went out of business? How many people lost their jobs? Nobody was ever compensated for any of that when it was repealed.
Yes, but Prohibition was an actual law that actually went into effect. That was actually a congressional passed law.
Banned anything, nobody's ever been compensated for it.
Yeah, but again, we're talking something completely different, because your Prohibition actually went through an amendment.
They did with the cars.
Anything in this country, and
the
they
clunkers,
changed their
they paid for
mind.
them.
Nobody's ever been reimbursed for it. Nobody's going to get reimbursed for this. Whether they should or not, that's another subject. But will they? I don't see it happening.
Like I said, it's going to turn into a court battle, and eventually the court's going to rule on it, and it'll wind up going, I'm sure, the Supreme Court, and they'll drag it out for another 10 years, and eventually they'll finally get stuck paying for it.
I'm sorry, it was about Prohibition. But if alcohol didn't exist ever in the world, could you introduce alcohol to society now? Would it be legal? Since
That's a good question.
People started wrecking and killing each other in driving accidents. Yeah. Could you imagine?
For sure. Yeah.
You could say the same thing about tobacco too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're dead on right on that one. That's for sure. They're like, oh, this stuff, we make this stuff, and it just basically, messes you up. You feel stupid, and it's cool, right? They'd be like, no, sorry. Yeah, they would do their best to not ever let that take hold. It still would, I'm sure. Just like every other illegal drug that comes out, and they try and suppress it. It's just inevitable that it's going to spread to some extent. Just like alcohol would do the same thing. Matt Sexy's out there. He's out there poking the bear for sure. He says, "Can't time me out."
He realized he doesn't have a wrench on that one either.
Yeah. I don't know why he says he can't. I'm not really sure what he's thinking. It's like,
I mean, it'd be a damn shame if my finger slipped.
Yeah, I hate to see that happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be, I think, for the people that lost one, Is it worth it for them to? Well, no, I mean, I guess now with class action lawsuits and stuff like that, like you don't have to put up any money, right? I mean, you just if it's a
Just
I've never been
file it for
involved,
free.
right? So, somebody says, "Hey, we're doing a class action lawsuit." You sign up and you say, "Hey, I got a bump stock here. It's in two parts. Obviously, I can prove I had one. I want in on this." But as far as the company goes and stuff, boy, I mean, yeah, I mean, could a company financially support a lawsuit that would be that big? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not a lawyer type dude.
As I say, you get the right lawyers to take that. Yeah, they take it just because it's a government entity and they're going to get paid regardless. So of course they're going to take it.
Yeah. I wish Kingpin was here. I'd be interested to hear again why he was so steadfast on. C4 says, "Here's some plastic. Now give me my $67 back." not people that paid $300 or $400 for him. A lot of
Why
people out
would
there
you
that
pay
paid
that much?
because they thought they had to. They
I was
wanted
going
it.
to say
Same thing.
slide fire stocks a couple years ago were going for almost $500.
Yeah. Same
Those are the
reason that
most
AR.
terrible. Those are the most terrible feeling things ever.
I've never shot one. I mean, it'd be fun to do it, but it's the same thing that. But the reason I didn't, after Sandy Hook, the reason I didn't buy an AR is because I couldn't afford one. I couldn't afford $1,200 for a $400 AR. You know what I mean?
My buddy got one of those slide fires. Not long after they came out, and I shot it, and I was, he was all proud of it and everything, and I was like, yeah, that was wonderful. Yeah, here, you can have it back. You want to do it again? No, I'm good. It felt terrible. So hence why I never got one. But
And the thing of it is, you really don't need one.
no.
As a matter of fact, I have a lower. I have one of those Omni lowers out there. That'll just automatically bump fire itself. Pull the trigger, it just keeps blowing, it just keeps shooting. It gets hung up on the plastic, and it'll just every time the thing cycles, it'll just double fire, triple fire.
I'll tell you what, they really need to get on banning dirty SKSs. You get a dirty SKS and it just wants to slam fire on you. What the hell? You could accidentally make a SKS slam fire pretty easy if you really wanted to. If bump fire stocks are legal again and are cheap when they come back, I'll get one. Other than that, I'd rather have a binary echo trigger. Pew Pew says.
Well, see, according to the last release of the ATF, the ATS said, they aren't allowed to make legal decisions like that. So it was just a suggestion.
Right. Yeah, and that's the biggest
law. It was a suggestion.
That's the biggest bullshit thing I've ever heard.
It was it was a suggestion for you to turn those bump stock in or spend 10 years in federal prison
on an exact date.
Yeah.
We suggest you do it.
Yeah, we suggest. Day. Yeah. Whatever. I don't have a copy of that letter. I mean, I wish if somebody has it or they dig it up or whatever. It'd be interesting to hear the wording again, because at the time I didn't really listen to the wording all that much. I wasn't, as interested in the exact grammar of it. But now, after they're coming out, they're like, "Oh, it was just a suggestion. It was just a suggestion. We weren't saying you had to do it." Horse shit. That is bullshit. You can't. That's something you're trying to push some. You're trying to sell somebody some beachfront property in Kansas. Gary, there, I got some if you want it, by the way.
Cool.
No, now it's Mad Sex. Okay. This guy's got 400 alts. Jesus.
Yeah, he can't make up. He's like Gary. He can't make up his mind.
freaking guy's
He's way
multiple
worse
person.
than I ever thought about, man.
Yeah. Patriot says, as it sits right now, you don't believe they would try pushing a federal law through banning them permanently before they had to pay? Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I mean. That's that's one of the things that it doesn't. It almost it almost doesn't make sense that they would. It makes me wonder what happened behind the scenes for them to come out and say what they said. It was like, oh, it was just a suggestion, and we didn't have the authority to do that. It doesn't make sense to me that they would come out and say that and cause all this ruckus rather than being like, okay, we've got them quote unquote banned. Now that they're banned, it'll be easy to actually make the legislation and push the legislations through, right? You would think they would just do that. And then once the legislation is pushed through and it's on paper as a law, then it doesn't make sense to me that they would do. It's really weird. I feel like it's really weird. They were worried about losing in court and setting precedent. But that's what I'm saying. Like now they have this ban. Why wouldn't they take it a step further? It would be easy to take it a step further, you would think,
just
right?
like what he just said. If they back off of it, now they change their story and say, oh, wait, it was just a suggestion. Can they sue them for it? And if they don't lose in court, it's not a precedent. It's probably what they're doing. He's probably not wrong.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I put the link in the main chat for the video from the one you and I were on last night with what's his name? Guns and Gadgets.
Where'd you put it?
In the main chat, which I may not have been able to do because I don't have a wrench, so it may not have gone through.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it. Can you put it in a private chat? No, wait.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah,
you got to cut and paste links out of there.
There you go.
That's fine. I'll just.
That's right. I forgot.
Oh,
Can't paste
this is for his video. You said that?
Yeah, that's the video that was here on last night. But that he has all the verbiage on there.
Okay. Well, there's that.
I tried to look to see if he actually had the link to the actual response, but apparently this response has not been officially posted yet.
Of course not.
Shit, yeah, they could take weeks to do that.
They might never even do it. That's the thing. Like, if they have the balls to come out and say, oh, it was just a suggestion. It was just a suggestion. We didn't. If they have the balls to come out and say that, then I don't see why.
It's a court brief. Okay, so it was a court filed brief. So at some point in time or another, it has to get filed. It has to get filed for public access.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm interested because I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Like I say, I'm not a lawyer type guy, and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So, what do you guys think? What would the reasoning be behind just letting it go, and not pushing the issue, and not trying to get any money out of it?
Well, first of all, by the ATS open acknowledgement that they can't do this, I don't see how in the world any court in the world is not going to overturn the quote unquote bump stock ban, issued by the federal government. That's they don't have a choice. They openly admit that hey, well, we can't do this. Okay,
can't overturn it if they just make it go away.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. They just have to wipe it back out again. Now, unfortunately, like I said, that's not going to apply to the states that have already enacted bump stock bans. So they're going to stay unless you have some energetic people turn around and go, okay, well, since ATF didn't have the authority to do this, and there's really no reason to ban an accessory if they go after each individual state and turn around and start suing the states that have the bump stock bans,
Yeah.
which is a good possibility that's going to happen, and get
That's
that
exactly
overturned.
what they should do.
Yep, and get that get them overturned. Because how you can ban a piece of plastic is beyond me.
It's just like
Yeah.
they did with the magazine ban in California.
Yep.
Ape, you're down in back in the green room there. If you have anything to say or whatever, let me know. I'll bring you up and switch somebody out for you. Or if you're just chilling back there waiting, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do. Gun Loving Grandpa's still out there. He was out there earlier. He was asking in Rich's chat. Rich, he was in your chat and he was asking about, what powder people use to reload. I was interested. I didn't know if he reloaded or not. That'll be kind of. None of you guys do, right? Glimtech,
No.
you reload?
Nope, I haven't done that for years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the time.
C4 says use baking powder, or I use baking powder. Yeah, Phil. It's just it bumps it up a little bit, saves you a little bit of money. Patriot says they're not saying they can't make it a law, just the ATF can't do it. So if they make it a law, if they don't make it a law, then you can't sue. Yeah, I suppose. Boy, squirrely bastards, man.
Yeah, well, there's
they
kind
could
of
sue
there's
against
kind
a
of
sanction.
yeah they can actually sue against the ruling.
Yeah.
Because that's like I don't know how you describe that, but yeah, you can still sue against the ruling, absolutely, because they're trying to impose their will, so for all intents and purposes, or their demand on the general public.
It's kind of like the ATF. It's kind of like the ATF just strong armed everybody that owns a bump stock, right? It's kind
That's
of
exactly
like
what they did.
It's kind of like it's kind of like when you walk
it ain't
into like
kinda.
back in the old days. Yeah, it's like back in the old days, in the old movies where the mob walks into the bakery and they're like, "Hey, it's a shame if somebody came in here and wrecked the place." It's kind of like the ATF did that. They're like, "Hey, it'd be a shame if somebody sent you to jail for a long time for having this."
Yeah, like I said, it's a suggestion that and if we don't heed our suggestion, we're going to throw you in federal prison for 10 years. But it's just a suggestion.
It'd be a shame if you spent 10 years in federal prison for that piece of plastic.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Why? Like Hodgson powder in general, maybe baking powder is the best kept secret in reloading. Yeah, there you go. I don't think he's here anymore. It was Gun Loving Grandpa. He was asking about powders. What powder he uses? He was asking what powder everybody uses for their pistols.
Yeah, I think he specifically was asking for a 9mm. But I don't reload, so I couldn't answer his question.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he was. I use the same powder for everything, so that's what I told him. Which it's kind of like a situation where it might not be the best for any one of them, but it works for all of them, kind of thing. So I used Hodgson's Universal Clays just because I was able to find it. C4 Defense does New York reloads. There you go. El Duce style. Pew says individuals who have purchased bump stock type devices prior to the implementation of this rule must destroy the devices themselves prior to the effective date of the rule or abandon them at their local ATF office. They must do it. Well, something that means there's consequences if you don't. Correct. All right.
Yep.
Screw 'em.
But
Gold bond
that's a must suggestion.
Solid stuff too. There you go.
It's strong suggestion. You know, it's one of those mafia suggestions.
We're gonna make you an
Next
offer
time, hey,
that you can't refuse.
Sarge, next time you pull somebody over, you have somebody doing something wrong, and you say, you must stop that, and they don't. Does that mean it's just a suggestion and it's not a big deal, right?
That usually falls under the ask, tell, make.
Yeah. Well, see
Right,
those octagonal red signs that have the printing on it. They're only a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those
Well,
things
it
that say
doesn't say
stop.
must.
That's only a
If
suggestion.
it would say if the stop sign said you must stop, then you could just blow right through them. So they're sneaky there. Mad Sexy says same powder for everything. So you use rifle powder and pistols. Now I use when I started to reload, I got into reloading right after Sandy Hook, and you could not buy powder. Like you couldn't buy it online. You couldn't buy it at local shops. There was nothing. You could buy some of the oddball wonky stuff. And every once in a while you could get, a pound of different kind of rifle powder or whatnot. But I couldn't find anything. So my father-in-law loaned me a little bit, a couple ounces of this, that, like, I forget what it was. Oh, Unique, I think. But I ran across I think it was on Craigslist or Armslist. A guy and his wife that used to own a sporting goods store, just a local little sporting goods store, and they had a bunch of stuff like yard sale style, and they had some cleaning supplies and some, whatever, just random stuff that you'd have at a little gun shop. And one of the things they had was some powders, and they had two of the big jugs of Hodgdon's clays, universal clays, and I snatched that stuff up quick. It was still sealed. One of them was still sealed. One of them was full, but the seal was broken, but it was still full. Just because it looks like somebody unscrewed the top and the little seal came off, but it wasn't used, and it still smelled good. It smells fresh. So yeah, I snagged that stuff quick, and that's what I use. I use it in 940, 38, and I've used it in 45 a little bit because I loaded some 45 for my brother-in-law before he got his setup. And it'll work for anything. It's real light and fluffy, which is nice. So it's really super obvious if you overcharge. A lot of times it'll overflow, which I like personally because, if you have an overcharged load, then, you obviously dump it out and you recharge it or whatever. So there's less chance of you double charging and having issues like that. So that's what I do. Now, is it perfect for everything? Probably not. I mean, it might be the best for one of them or something, but it'll work for pretty much anything. So that's why I like it. And I got a ton of it, and, I won't run out. And then for rifle, I have specific ones, a couple of different ones that I try. 4640 for my IMR is what I like for my. That's a really good one if you're into rifle, medium to medium large rifle calibers. That'll work for just about anything too. That's a good one by IMR. Where the fuck all the critter fritters at? They're sleeping. It's late. It's late for critters. Pete says, so the ATF committed racketeering or whatever. Yeah, it sure as hell sounds like it.
Rico.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it'd sure be a shame if somebody came in and, threw you in handcuffs. Bastards.
That was actually brought up
man.
in that chat too about them filing RICO violations.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah, I remember him saying something. I guess one of the opposing attorneys brought that up in their brief about them violating RICO and numerous RICO violations. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed to Guns and Gadgets, get over there and get sub to him. He does a great job. He puts a lot of time and effort into his channel, for sure. Abe says there are too many peeps with a name that starts with Mad. Now what do I have here? Background checks. Talked about that. Louis C.K. is coming back to comedy. I don't know if anybody. He started doing some comedy shows again. I don't know if anybody is a big Louis C.K. fan. I think the guy's funny as hell.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I'm glad he's coming back, and no apologies.
No apologies. He is, yeah, and that's he. They did a couple of shows out in California somewhere. I'm not really sure. They're real small. They didn't promote it. They just put it on whatever the comedy place's website is and sold some tickets. And he did a couple shows. They sold out in like an hour or something. He did like a couple of shows, 2 shows a day. He did like 4 shows in 2 days or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sold
I
them
guess
out
it was Tim Pool. I guess was had that on his channel, and it was like yeah.
I saw
He's like,
else, but
yeah. It was like, we had to do a show on a Thursday and a Friday or something like that. They just basically by word of mouth, and it was sold out within hours. Like, okay.
Yeah. Seven Wonders said, I didn't know he quit. He didn't really quit. He just sort of
they blackballed
went into
him.
hibernation.
Yeah, they blackballed him.
Yeah. After the sexual assault, quote unquote, the sexual assault stuff came out, it was really shady. I mean, I'm sure he'll admit he's like, I got in a bunch of shit for it. He lost a truckload of money. They said, tens of millions of dollars in ads and shows that were canceled and all this kind of stuff. But he's not apologizing for what he did. He's not, which I think is good. I think, with him. Everybody's talking about Chappelle too. Chappelle's on Netflix. So is Bill Burr. If you watch Chappelle, I watched Chappelle first because I think Chappelle's awesome. But I actually think, and I know Tim Pool said the opposite. I actually like Bill Burr's better. It's called Paper Tiger, and I laughed more at listening to Bill Burr's set than I did Chappelle's. Chappelle's was more socially charged, I guess is a good way to say it. He brought up more social issues.
Yeah, he was an equal opportunity offender.
Oh, yeah, he tore into everybody for sure. Bill Burr's shit was funny as hell, though. So if you watch Chappelle's and you really liked it, go on Netflix and watch Bill Burr's Paper Tiger. It was funny as hell. It was really, really good. So I'm excited to see. I'd be excited to see, in a month or two after he gets back into the swing of things, what Louis C.K. is going to be doing, because I'm sure he's going to come out with. I'm sure whatever he comes out with next, like his, a special, like a half an hour or whatever, Netflix or whatever. I would put money that whatever he does next is going to be pretty intense, pretty charged up. So, take a look at it if you can. Bill Burr is a funny dude for sure. I think he's a little hit or miss Tuesday nights 9:00, but this one was really good. He was really good. The wife says, "Ooh, they were saying what he." Yeah, I mean, he did. You know, and they didn't. He was never charged with anything, right? I don't think he ever had any charges brought against him. I think I don't think there was anything there uh, that was illegal. I think it was just it's kind of like they talked about Aziz Ansari getting his ass in trouble too for Aziz went on some date and thought it was going good and tried to thought he was gonna get with this chick, and then she goes and says that he tried to force himself on her, which then she said really wasn't the case. She just felt uncomfortable and uh, didn't want his advances, and he didn't push himself on her. There was no rape or anything like that, and they parted ways. And then he really got his ass in trouble too through public opinion, not legally. So I think it's really, really, really important that people support the comedians that are out there doing some of this sort of hardcore stuff and things that are a little edgy to show that it's okay. It's no big deal. You can make jokes. I think comedians are sort of the cutting edge right now of trying to cut through all this social justice.
Yeah, the
bullshit.
political correctness and the no woke culture, and they're doing a good job of it.
I think it's so good that Chappelle's special went well and people are talking about it and it's being received well. And I hope Bill Burr's is too. And I'm hoping that if Louis does something here coming up too, that it will be too. And I hope he pushes the envelope, and I hope he's a dick, and I hope he has no apologies, because it's the only way to sort of cut through all this bullshit, man. Where you're not allowed to, look at somebody funny without, pulling charges. Mad Sexy says, "Who is this Chappelle dude?" Uh, um, Chappelle from the Chappelle Show.
Dude, you don't know who David? Oh, wow, you
Yeah,
live in a sheltered life,
I don't
son.
know how to. Yeah. The wife said, "Sounds like Me Too stuff." Yeah, basically what it was.
Yeah, the CK stuff was a Me Too thing, and they found out that what was actually being said was nowhere even close to actually what happened.
YP says, "Listen to Sarah Silverman when she defended Louis after he jerked it in front of her. She was shamed with an old skit, which blackface. Yeah, she got tossed, man. Then the blackface thing. Justin Trudeau is catching it too, man. Justin Trudeau is catching a bunch of heat up in Canada. His teary-eyed social justice warrior. We are the world nonsense. He wants to.
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen to Trudeau because
You're right.
that was brown face. That wasn't black. That was brown face.
Doesn't matter. It's ammunition for people to say, like, 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago, he did that. Who gives a shit? The only people that give a shit are the people that are pretending it matters. They're pretending to give a shit. Nobody gives a shit about that stuff for real. I understand it. There might be a few people that think it was kind of off color or whatever, but nobody really gives a shit. It's the same thing with like the red. It's a parallel to the red flag laws and what's happening with red flag laws. There was a story I saw of some police department the other day, where some cop said, jokingly, "Boy, if I don't get this raise," he's up for a promotion or a raise or something. And he said, "Oh man, if I don't get this raise, we might have a active shooter situation in here." And he joked about it, and somebody called him on it, and now it's like a big thing. It's like a big deal. Like the dude's going to get fired and everything, or probably get fired, or maybe he won't because he's a cop. Who knows? But like, you got a kid biting a Pop-Tart into a shape of a gun and pretending to, it's a toy gun, and he gets in trouble. And, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. And then you got people that are making jokes and stuff, and they're getting they're getting slapped with red flags and stuff basically. And it's not even a law yet in a lot of these places. It's just the court of public opinion. It's crazy.
No worse than the kid that got suspended and all but expelled from school for going to the range with his mother.
Right. Yeah. Doing nothing but shooting a legal weapon. Travis T says Tarpon Springs police detective, and he resigned. Right. Yeah. You know what? A couple of years ago, somebody would be like, that was kind of a dumb thing to say. And he'd be like, yeah, you're right. That was a stupid thing to say. And everybody would have moved on with their freaking lives. And now you got a guy, doesn't have a job anymore. The wife says, shame those who call others out. Shame those who call others out for doing something sexual in front of them after they gave him permission are attention whores and make those who have had real issues been actually. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the afterthought of a lot of these Me Too things is it's the boy who cried wolf, right? And it's something that Sarge said a while back. It reminds me of something that he said. Sarge once said, and this sticks out because it's the only thing that Sarge ever said. I thought that was really smart.
This is first time for everything.
Yeah, right. He said, if you're always yelling, you're never yelling, right? You said that? I want to give you credit for that one. Mm-hmm. So if everybody says that they were raped, then nobody's going to believe that anybody was ever raped or sexually assaulted.
Yeah, well, like I said, you look at the experts and all the Me Too experts and everything else. What killed the Me Too expert was Kavanaugh. That was it. It just flushed that whole Me Too movement right out the window.
Yeah,
there is no such thing anymore because nobody cares, and now they brought it back up again. They keep trying to hammer this thing home again with them again.
Yeah, it's going nowhere because
it's
you already
just like and I know Sarge knows this. It's like okay, so we have a report from a third party who wasn't even there but heard it from a friend of a friend that this actually happened. Okay.
I'm gonna take a hard no on that.
Yeah, and you want us to do exactly what about this?
Yeah, Kavanaugh thing's funny because every time they bring up one of these things, they get the person that supposedly happened to saying, "I don't remember any of this happening."
It was incredible. It was a credible. It was credible that actually happened. I think somebody made a video about it.
Yep. And then the one that I always liked was like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about because I wasn't even there.
There's no stop it and no stop it are two different things. Yeah, there was a Tosh had a joke about that too. He said if no actually meant no, he's like every man in America would die a virgin. Seven Wonders says I scrolled up a bit and saw F Canada, then I'll look into it. Yeah, F Canada. When in doubt, screw them. Yeah, it's a mess. It's really annoying, man. I find it really, really annoying, and I think that's the biggest problem with it is there's a lot of women out there, not just women. It's like, oh yeah, we hear people that are lying and faking this stuff. There was a dude. I think this might have been on Tim Pool too, where he talked about the retired football player that trashed his own bar, trashed his own restaurant or whatever.
Yeah, that was on Tim Pool as well. That one?
Yeah, the police caught him in the act of doing it.
Yeah, when they stopped the vehicle, they pulled a warrant on this vehicle. They found the TVs and everything in the back of his truck.
Yeah. Did you see the pictures? Did you see the pictures of it?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God.
And it was like,
Sarge, you would have had a
was
field
like,
day with this.
yeah, well, you know, it's
with this guy.
somebody broke in and destroyed my bar, but I didn't bother calling the cops, but I called my insurance company. Yeah, there you go.
He must have took notes from a guy that we went to one night. I went and backed up the local police. It's the same deal. Guy trashed his own bar. I looked right at him. He was assaulted. I looked right at the guy that was working the case. I said, I think your victim and your suspect are both laying there on the ground. And there's one guy. I said, he did this. And he did.
It's like that movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey where he's punching himself in the face. He's like, I'm kicking my own ass.
Yes. Yeah, Carrie's a moron, but at least he turned into one.
What are you doing?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, this dude trashes his own place, knocks holes in the walls, rips the TVs out of the walls, trashes a bunch, just destroys the place. I forget how much. I don't know if they said how much damage he did, but so he rips like the TVs out of the walls and just goes to throw. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I forgot about that. Can't forget about that. And he takes the TVs with chunks of drywall still attached to the brackets, right? And just pitches them in the back of the truck. He's still wearing the gloves that he was wearing. Even OJ got rid of his damn gloves, this idiot. And so the cops pull him over and they look in the bed of the truck. Look in the bed of the truck and there's the TVs with the freaking plaster or the drywall and still attached, and he's still wearing the gloves. Like, Jesus, idiot.
The cans of spray paint were in the back with the TVs.
Yeah, because I guess one of the neighbors, keep walking over your office, right? So this whole thing, and it was just this black guy, just pickup truck, and here's the truck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what it was. That's right. Yeah, one of the neighbors said, "Oh, it was a blob, whatever kind of pickup truck it was," and they were like, "Oh shit, there goes one." They pull it over and it's him. What an idiot! That's what you get, man. So stupid.
Jesse Smollett reject. He didn't learn the first time.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, and that's what's even crazier about a lot of this stuff is it's like that was not just national news, but news in all over the world. I'm sure. Why you would think you could pull it off and he couldn't?
It's like the last minister, I forget where it was, who bought a cake for something and wrote the N-word on the cake, and then said it came that way from the bakery.
Oh my God!
See, the scary part about that Smollett thing is that's been brought up on a couple of streams that I saw. There's been actual cases that have been legally dropped because of that, because they turned around and go, well, hey, Jesse Smollett didn't got away with it. You can't charge my client.
Mm.
And the judges actually sat there and go, well, yeah, you're right.
I like in the Chappelle special, if you watch it, he doesn't say he doesn't say Jussie Smollett. He says Juicy Smollett. He says, "Oh, Juicy Smollett." Funny. So, yeah, it's Oh, Abe says, yeah, and he pulled a Juicy. Yeah. Juicy Smollett. Oh, there's that old George Cortez guy out there. You're going to be getting something from Gizzard. You're going to get one of them chicken patches. Chicken patch. I don't have a damn. You know what? I just realized now. I want a chicken bucket patch or a sticker, and I'm giving it away to damn George Cortez. Bastard.
Man,
I screwed up. I just thought about that. Oh well, it's okay. George, I hope you like your stuff.
Mike could spare another one.
It's okay. Give it to George. It's fine. What we got here? We got some stuff popping up. Warsaw Patriot refurbishing my grandfather's old knife. That's cool. I have to watch that video. Looks neat. Very nice. Yeah, man, I hope you like your stuff. Seven Wonders is asking if you had a good nap. I don't think you did, right? You said you didn't get one, huh? Uh-oh. Kinky Sphincter says, ask C4 Defense when I'm going to get his package he sent. Fake news. Why don't you drive down there? You can get.
He's got a valid complaint. I will get it in the mail this week. He has a valid complaint. I have nothing to say.
Is he going to get it before or after I get the hat that I was promised?
Oh, he'll get it before that.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about that
Kinky?
too. I was like, I guess I got to go make a hat order so I can get them done by Wanamaker.
I didn't see. I don't know where Kinky's at. He could drive down there and.
He's in Texas.
Yeah, Ape's out there. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I guess. I guess I did know that. Texas is such a big place. There's a bunch of people down there. I don't know why it wouldn't be.
There's a couple.
I think it's just Clover, isn't it? I mean, that's the only people in Texas.
No, George is down there. George Cortez is in Texas. Kinky, Matt,
yeah,
Clover.
So there's 4 people in Texas.
Is in. I think there's somebody else that we know. I don't remember who it is though. Oh, Jimenez. Jimenez, yeah. Rich White says Juicy was assaulted by 2 Nigerian princes. They were just trying to help make him a millionaire.
I thought that was Coming to America with Eddie Murphy and what's his name? The 2 princes.
Arsenio Hall?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Yeah. Kinky is waiting on C4's package. That's what I'm saying. If he was close, he could just drive down there and grab a hold of that package himself.
I'd rather mail it.
Brown chicken, brown cat. So I don't know. What else is going on? Anything else? About out of topics.
He's all out of topics. He's so lost without you.
Oh, Gelsma lives in Texas too. That's right, he does.
Somebody wake up Gary, ask him if he has a topic.
Gary, you got a topic? Yeah, you didn't do foul territory today, so you should have some topics just laying around the house there.
I usually do foul territory on Fridays, but
hold on a second.
This was going to be the early bird chat.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What's he looking at?
I just heard the little guy crying. He's getting sick. My wife's not feeling good. He's got a runny nose, and just heard him crying. He must not be feeling well. If he wakes up again, we might cut it off if I need to go help out. He was feeling fine this morning, and just as the day went, getting a little snottier, you know what I mean? Just sneezing out some gross, nasty stuff tonight right before bed.
Should have gave him
to
some
Pennsylvania.
Well, he's in
some banana bread
2 different preschools. He has one preschool. Is 3 days a week at one and 2 days a week at a different one, which he loves, which is nice because it keeps it exciting for him. He loves to go, but he just started going to this new one not long ago, so kind of gotta see it coming. You know what I mean? New kids, new germs. Hopefully he gets over it soon. Last time he was sick, I feel like last time he was sick, he was just sniffly and snotty for a while and then got over it, but hopefully. Has anyone had microwave chicharrones before? No, and I can't imagine at all that would be good.
Yes,
The whole idea about a chicharron is it's crispy, crunchy. YP says, hold on a second. That reminds me. Hold on a second. Just hold on a second. There we go. Okay. He says, "Gee, I joined this guy's Patreon and he cancels the first show, shows up late twice, and now he's calling it quits early." I guess my dollar made him independently wealthy. Yeah, I'm set up now.
People find
Park
Muhammad
that like
Ridgeline.
fatback or crackling. Yeah, but put the good rims on it. No, I agree with you on the way the Ridgeline looks. It looks like it's got back problems. It's like a pig. It's like a pig with back problems.
Hey, I
George
resemble
says,
that remark.
how about
Thank
bacon
you.
wrapped jalapeno poppers, Lay's chips? Pig with back problems. It does though. That's like from the side. It just I don't know. That's just what it reminds me of. It's just got that like hunchy back to it. I can buy a set of Ron Popeil knives now. Yeah. Hot vodka. Yeah, that'll put him to sleep. Yeah. Thanks, Abe. I appreciate that. Good thinking. Whoa, okay. Pew Park says he found a bag at the $1.99 store. I might make another taste test video similar to the Sour Patch video. I saw the Sour Patch cereal at the grocery store the other day, and I was like, man, I should buy a box of that. And I was like, cereals is pretty expensive to buy something that's horrible. I don't know that I want to do that. But yes, if it's at the dollar store, I think you should definitely buy the microwave chicharrones and try them. Pop them in a toaster oven. What, the microwave chicharron? Yeah, I guess it probably just like everything else, it doesn't just have microwave instructions. You probably put them in the oven too, or fry them. Maybe if you can fry them, that's what you should do. If you could fry them, microwave some and fry some, and then you could do a taste test on the difference. Guarantee those microwave ones are gonna suck. Sorry, just saying down in the internal, Yankee wanted to dump Kavanaugh for that. Yeah, I can't remember that. Well, that's what they're saying. Somebody brought that up not long ago, that she's about her taking over for Ginsburg. That would be slamming to get her instead of Ginsburg.
Yeah, she's in running for that one.
Weekend at Ginsburg's.
Boy, I'll tell you what. Yeah. I mean, Amy Barrett. Yeah, is it Amy Cohen Barrett or something like that? I got nothing against. I mean, I commend Ginsburg for holding in there, man. She's obviously not in great shape, and she doesn't want to give it up, man. I mean, she's standing by her. She's toughing it out, but at some point, somebody needs to step in and be like, listen, you're not fulfilling your duties. It's time to go. Congratulations on not dying. There you go.
When you got an IV sticking out of your arm and it's the embalming fluid, it's time to retire.
I think last time I saw her, she had like bolts in her neck.
I should have looked it up, but I saw a video once where they were talking about the fact that the Supreme Court is till, you're appointed until it can be till death. I mean, you don't have to quit. And they were saying one Supreme Court justice years ago was like basically in his deathbed and was like totally out of it and still technically had the position. It's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, it's a lifetime appointment until you die or retire.
It's kind of crazy that they don't have they don't have the ability to, like, if there's 7 judges, 7, right? 7 justices.
If you're mentally incapacitated and you cannot function anymore, how can you be on the Supreme Court?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Like, it's kind of hard to believe that if the other 6 judges don't all agree with, hey, this person, we need to move on, this person is not able to fulfill their duties, that those 6 people combined, I could see if 3 people say that's fine and 3 people say that's not, that you can't push it through. But if all 6 people say, which I don't know, maybe you just never get all 6, they assume, I don't know. I'd be interested to.
Not 7. We get 5-4 decisions.
What's that?
9 people, not 7.
Oh, well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but it's not,
I was thinking it was 7.
Yeah, that's why we get 5-4 decisions, because there's 9 people.
I said 7. Flimtech said it was 7. That lying bastard.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, then I just misheard you.
Yeah, you were saying it, but you were saying you thought it was 7, and I'm like, okay. No, I said about them being about if you're incapacitated, how can you be on the Supreme Court?
They can be impeached, but it's got to be for a crime. I mean, we can't impeach them for old age. So.
Yeah, and I just don't get that. It's weird. I don't get how you can have somebody that's incapable of performing their duties stay on the panel. Is he okay?
Quiet. Obnoxious is right here. He can hear you.
Yeah, but
Gary, you're not allowed to go.
I'm not paying attention.
I'm going to show you how old, tired people gracefully exit a panel.
And with a puff of smoke,
to another viewer.
Gary, you're not allowed to go, because if you go, that means Ape's coming in. So you're not allowed to leave. You have to stay.
Well, instead of reading his text, you actually get to hear him talk now.
Oh, yeah, good point.
All right, well, thanks for the invite.
See you, Gazer.
See ya.
Harry.
Maybe you should go out like they
See you, buddy.
Back in the 80s, like when they had that spontaneous human combustion that happened every once in a while, allegedly. Maybe that's how she'll go out.
There you go.
What happened to your grandma? Oh, she slept in one day and burst into flames. Oh, okay.
Remember that show, That's Incredible?
You know that?
Yeah.
It was like a weekly theme, where these people were bursting into flames. I was like, I really thought I would see that more as an adult, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, every week, That's Incredible. Somebody was going up in flames.
Oh, fuck him on live.
I really thought it'd be more of a problem than it is.
Yeah,
he gets lived after
run away like that.
Yeah, show for investigation in the middle of the living room, and there's a pile of ash. Just
Yeah.
poof.
Wow, it finally happened. I know
what
this
the
one.
fuck did I just walk into?
A cluster.
Seriously.
Well,
Seriously.
it's kind of like they. What was the show with the dino? Was it just called Dinosaurs? Where it
Not
was
the
like
mama. Not the mama.
Not the mama. Bong.
Yeah, that show. It was Dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea in their culture was that after like a person got so old, they just threw him off of a cliff, and that I don't know if they ever showed it, but that was like a point of contention in the show. They thought that was like the censors didn't like that or whatever, but that was the whole idea of that show. They could call it the dinosaur clause. So if you're on the Supreme Court and you can't, you get too old, they just throw you off a cliff somewhere.
Well, the whole point of Soylent Green was people got too old and they turned them into food. So, yeah.
And Logan's Run, and I believe that was also a plot point on an episode of Alf.
Yeah, little guy's crying. He threw up, I guess.
How many times
give it a
tell
couple
you your
minutes here.
food is not safe for human consumption? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really gotta stop cooking for him. I love the kid. I really shouldn't be cooking for him.
No, if you loved him, you wouldn't cook for him. I mean, these
Yeah, for
strangers
sure.
and idiots and people who come in under reservations of "I love the Yankee Marshal." I mean, yeah, sure, give them the sushi that
Yeah.
fell on the floor behind the television set last month.
Yeah. Scrape whatever together you can.
Yeah, potluck, chef's choice.
Yeah. Give it a couple of minutes. If he doesn't settle down, he seems pretty upset. We'll cut. I mean, it's 12:30 already, so we'll see. She might need a little hand with him. It
It's
sucks when they're
12:30
sick,
a.m.
man.
Do you know where your freedom is?
You can go give her a little hand then.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait a minute, Midnight. Where's your little hand? No, your little hand, not your hand little. Because this little man might have eaten your little hand.
I don't have a little hand. I never got one.
Of course not, because the little man ate it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Sphincter says, "What the hell did you say about the Yankee Marshal?"
Oh, you need to ask Midnight or a C4 Defense about a certain reservation he had at the Waffle House.
I looked that lady right in the eye. She said that. Party of four for I love the Yankee Marshal. I said, no, I don't. And yes, we are.
Yankee talked a whole lot of shit on Instagram today about that. Almost all the speakers at the gun rights policy conference today. Man, 90% of his posts were just talking shit about people. It's crazy.
I'm glad I didn't make it.
Him. He was just, I don't know. He just likes
Yankee
to
being Yankee.
see the bad. Yeah, he's pessimistic to some extent with stuff like that. Like he wants to see the bad in everybody.
Well, now Midnight, you have to remember, Yankee doesn't like to travel if it's more than half an hour. He doesn't like inside the waistband holsters, and he doesn't like carrying 9mm. I mean,
right? And he did all.
The only way you could piss him off more would be if there were chunks of stuff or shit in his ice cream. Like brownies or peanut butter or caramel or chocolate chips.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Vanilla. What?
No, strawberry.
Oh, is
it's like he likes Neapolitan ice cream and usually either eats like just the strawberry or just the chocolate or something. He's Mr. Old-Fashioned. Back in my day, we only had 2 flavors, dirt and not.
Yeah. And I don't know that I. Hold on a second. And I don't know that I trust anybody that would take a cupcake with icing, turn it upside down, just eat the cake part and throw the icing away. I don't know.
It depends on the icing. Some of the
I do
Wally
the
World
complete
icing,
opposite.
if it's like buttercream, yeah, fuck you. That's good. That's good frosting.
I do the complete opposite. Throw the cake away, then eat the icing.
Well, thank you for not just licking the frosting off the cupcake in one go and sending it back on the tray.
Well,
That's what I do.
What?
So you're the asshole who did that. I wanted to do that.
Is that a no-no?
Only if you get caught or are above the age of like 3.
I'll make sure I don't get caught.
I'm only
It's like
2.5
jumping
years
into the
old,
chip.
so.
sorry.
I'll double dip the hell out of some chips.
Well, yeah, because you walk up to the buffet and just take the whole dip container.
I watched a commercial today, and it just dawned on me: how many times have you been at midnight? You'll know this because you're at a restaurant, even though it's Waffle House. They bring out a dessert with a fork or a spoon for everybody, and they all eat off that dessert. But if you double dip a chip, man, you are some kind of low life fucker. but
You're
they
a
would all
savage.
eat off that fucking dessert.
Yeah, you
Great
got some kind
savage.
of dirty scum. Yeah.
But it's
That's
not
funny.
like they'll take one bite of that dessert and then they switch forks. They're all just digging right into that son of a bitch. But you double dip a chip, you're fucking.
Yeah, it's not like everybody eats one corner and in the middle you throw it away.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Oh, we got to get rid of that middle now. The poor conservative says Swiss buttercream is the best. Swiss is that the one with the hot simple syrup? I forget. I get them mixed up because there's a traditional buttercream, and there's Italian, and there's Swiss. Swiss, I think, is the one where you actually take the egg whites and whip them, and then you drizzle in like a warm simple syrup. I forget. Boy, it's been a long time.
God damn it! I filled up on Mexican tonight, and I'm full, but yet I'm hungry for buttercream already. Thanks.
I just go eat some straight buttercream. That way you don't fill up. It's just taste explosion.
No, if I'm gonna have something to where I bite in and it's just gonna rot my teeth, I'll go to Wally World and start licking the cakes there.
There you go.
Next thing you'll see trending on the Facebook, mysterious monkey opens up cake drawer, takes a lick, and puts it back. News at 11.
C4 Defense says, you think that's weird? Obnoxious snob ordered a Coke with 2 straws at Tally's.
Well, now, I thought that's just because they like to bite off the end, twist the other, and see who can shoot each other in the eye. And the winner gets the Coke. Now, Sarge, was it like Obnoxious took a drink with his straw and then handed it to Snob, or other way around?
Oh no, dual straws in the one cup.
Got to get that high-speed internet, sucking on 2 straws at the same time for more sugar-powered.
Yeah, they were both blowing bubbles in the drink at the same time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they were both blowing bubbles in the pool, which was odd because I didn't think that Spring Hills had a bubble jacuzzi in the pool.
Yeah, who's this bubble guy that we haven't heard about? Is that one of Matt Sexy's other alternates?
I think that's his brother-in-law.
Yeah, they got the cops called on. They got caught blowing bubbles in the pool, and
Boom.
yeah.
Want to get spicy.
Well, we opened up the proverbial can of worms on that one.
Yeah, and it all started out by criticizing Yankee and the fact that he doesn't like frosting.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't trust that. I don't trust that about him. Something about that makes me leery. Somebody complains all the time about things being too sweet. And I'm like, I don't know. Mad Bubbles. There you go. Where is he? That'll be popping up in no time. Mad Bubbles.
Mad Bubbles blower. Mad blowing bubbles.
2 Live Moose says, how many people here would share a dessert with Jumpy?
By share, you mean take a large bite and then run away?
I tagged 2 Live Moo in an Instagram video today that I saw, and it was the what was that spoof movie? It was the karate. Now the karate movie, Enter the Fist or something.
Giggity.
Yeah.
What was it? I forget.
Like Kung Fu Pao
And it was
or something.
Kung Pao Enter the Fist. It was fighting with the cow. The cow was like shooting milk at him and stuff. Pretty good. Say what you want. None of you guys gave me $1,000 Henry 357 reason.
Look,
true.
7, just because you have to pay California prices doesn't mean that, yeah. No, I didn't say I ate a Mexican. I said I ate Mexican. If I said I ate a Mexican or several Mexicans, that would have made sense, Seven. You're slipping.
Mm.
I said Mexican, not fish tacos.
Oh, there you go. Now you opened up the whole can the can the whole way.
well, you know, man, it's just like if you go to the hospital and they draw your blood and they put that super sticky bandage tape on your arm and say it's got to be on there for a half hour. You just when you pull it off, you just got to rip it off. You can't pull. Yeah, just rip the Band-Aid off. Just got to rip the can open.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Like you can't keep a Band-Aid to stay on for more than 30 seconds any other time. But they put Band-Aids on it. It's got to have like super glue on it or something, man.
Oh no, it'll stick everywhere where you don't have hair, and wherever you don't have hair, it'll find that one little piece of hair, and when you pull it, it's like, ow.
Okay, we need to change the subject since that's where I got to go in the morning.
Oh yeah, George says no hablo español. I don't know why he's saying that, but he's screaming it. He's freaking out about
it. George, are you sure you got your verbiage or the wordage there? I mean, that'd be like me going around yelling no hablo inglés.
Yeah, he's in Texas. He's got to understand a little Spanish.
Do you understand Spanglish or Texclish?
Now Seven Wonders is saying he understands
Jalapenos?
Japanese a little bit, but in Spanish. That's really weird.
Great. Now we got the little UN out there.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, and Pew has a cat in his pants. Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
These guys, real linguists out there.
Now, George,
I'm surprised these guys.
To be fair, someone had already ran it over. I was just doing the highway department's job and taking care of it.
Yeah, roadkill cleanup. Give it a break.
Yeah, I mean, we can't just keep spending money so the DNR can release turkey vultures so that the Department of Transportation doesn't have to go out and clean up the roadkill. You see how government works yet?
Hey, but roadkill skidoo does actually sound pretty good right now.
Yeah, plus it's already tenderized, so you don't have to stew it for half a day.
That's right.
Speaking of tenderized, I watched a video today where they did some testing with pineapple. They pureed pineapple and used it to marinate meat to tenderize it. Pretty neat. They took a
soft and supple.
They also did some freeze dried. They freeze dried pineapple wedges and then soaked them in things, and then freeze dried them again so that they had like that crispy texture that you get from like freeze dried fruit. But it had like cool flavors on it, like they did passion fruit, and the one chick took some sort of energy drink and soaked the dried pineapple in that and then freeze dried it again. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty neat little video. It's kind of fun. I know they also said that if you soak fresh pineapple in salt water and then drain it and rinse it and puree it, like it gave the pineapple flavor, but it didn't break down the meat. Like the salt water neutralized the enzyme in it that breaks down proteins. So if you wanted to pineapple marinate something, but you didn't want it to like break it down, and you could do that. And I thought that was pretty neat. Thinking about trying that just to see. Ever since I did that with shrimp at one time, and it turned my shrimp into like goo, I was like, whoa, that blew my mind, man. That was really crazy. Pineapple has an enzyme in it. I can't remember what it's called, but it breaks down protein. So if you would puree pineapple and use it to marinate like meat, it'll actually break down the proteins in the meat and makes it like soft and tender. And kind of, I don't want to say spongy, but it, can make it like soft like that. So, but I did it. I never really, I knew that, but I didn't know to what extent it can actually happen. And I was doing a pineapple marinade. I was going to do a grilled pineapple shrimp as a special. So the night before, I took some shrimp and I did a pineapple marinade with ginger and garlic, and some cilantro, scallions, a little bit of soy, whatever, salt, little salt. And I was like, cool. So I'll marinate these overnight. And then tomorrow I'll just throw them on the grill and cook them up, to order. And when I reached into the marinade to get them out, they were like half mush. Like the outside of the shrimp was like almost like it was slimy and like almost a paste. It was really weird. So yeah, that was crazy. It was really pretty interesting. But if you use it to your advantage, it's pretty awesome. If you do it for like chicken or something and marinate it for a couple hours, and like really make it nice and tender. But the shrimp just turned to like paste. It was really weird.
Yeah, just slap it on some bread. You got yourself a sandwich spread.
No. You pour it into a pot, you reduce it, and there you got yourself a new spread. It's our new shrimp sauce.
Bromelain. Yeah.
Bromelain.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it? Well, you don't spell it very well. Speek. That's for sure.
Your point. Was I using a text? Was I using a speech to text? Just be happy I didn't put English.
Moo says, Guga, whoever that is, did the pineapple marinated steak and it was nasty. Yeah, Big Kahuna Burger.
Right, that right there is a tasty burger.
Big Kahuna Burger, you say?
Yeah.
It's that Hawaiian burger joint. I never had one myself.
You see,
wife's a vegetarian. Girlfriend's a vegetarian, which pretty much makes me a vegetarian. Such a good movie. He's crazy as shit, but I like that movie.
Tarantino or Samuel Emmett, motherfucker Jackson.
Tarantino's a nut. Does some good movies.
Okay, so what kind of a nut?
Oh, I don't know, man. He's just.
We talking almond, cashew, water chestnut?
Bananas. He's banana nuts.
Well, sometimes you feel like a nut and
sometimes you don't. I will say this,
but I don't. I don't think that Tarantino is, despite being a chalky white boy, he's not covered with dark chocolate.
I don't know. Maybe he's into black chicks. I don't know. Could be. Nothing wrong with that.
I believe he's married to a black chick, so he probably is covered in dark chocolate quite often.
See. Mm-hmm.
So hey, I gotta ask you guys: have any of you guys had this new place that just opened down in Texas called Whataburger?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, we have them here in Arizona.
No. This is a very specific. It's only like 1 or 2 restaurants.
Well, Whataburger is popular here in Arizona. We have the franchise.
No, not Whataburger. Waterburger.
Oh, Waterburger. Okay.
It's really called Waterburger?
No, it's a Whataburger that has water up to its roof.
Oh. Get out of here with those jokes. That's not even funny.
Yeah, anyway.
You suck. Who invited this guy?
I don't know.
Some asshole called midnightsexymattorange@gmail.ru.
Gmail.jerk.
You got to revoke that status there.
I've never had Waterburger. Jorge says Waterburger is the best in the world. A lot of people say that. It must be pretty good. I've never had one though.
Yeah, Whataburger's not bad.
Wait. A lot of people also said Hillary Clinton for president in 2016.
That's true. George says it's good. I trust George.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Whataburgers are good. But then again, where I'm at, we're finally getting Burger King back, which is definitely an improvement over what we have. Ain't much besides McDonald's.
Now, George, and to the other people who have had it, is a water burger better than, say, a Fat Guy's burger?
Yes, hands
Never
down.
had that.
More specifically, is it better than a Fat Guy's burger with peanut butter and fried onions?
Oh no, absolutely not. Nope, can't beat that.
Pew Pew Park says I posted a video on NEA's Discord of a rat jumping into the fryer in a Whataburger. That's gross. But I bet he was less mad about that than what Ben Farrell posted in his Discord.
Look, Crackle P11 Jr.'s been around long enough to know to not mess with Link.
Oh man, I bet he got read the riot act by Matt. I'll tell you what.
Not really. Matt doesn't care. He's just more annoyed with the fact that he can't figure out how to unban him.
I don't know. Kinky says, "What did Ben post?" Oh, that's true. That he had to pull. He pulled the video down. Well, so Matt was doing like nerd porn.
Giggity.
Where, right? And Ben posted some nerd porn. And Matt was not screening the emails. He just put them up live, And for a couple of seconds, Matt had some porn on the live stream. And
you mean some lovely Asian ladies?
What the hell? He says now. He says, "Oh, I was watching live." What the fuck did you think I was talking about?
Well, you see, it wasn't necessarily the fact that he posted actual pornography. There's a special place for that. It's the Not Safe for Work memes folder. Don't be getting his gun porn with his geek porn, and don't be getting his girl porn in his gun porn.
Yeah. Matt said he wasn't mad. No, I'm not saying he was mad.
No, it's just, oops, okay, demonetize.
Yeah, he was like, at the time, he was like, oh, he was pissed. He was pissed. I'd have been pissed too. I mean, that's a big deal. That can be a big deal if the wrong person sees it and writes in. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Kinky. I'm sure a person of your imaginative mind can figure out what kind.
I understand it was in his Discord he posted. Yeah.
And the thing with the Discord is, it's just that stream right down. And
he was just scrolling through.
It's like, oh, there's Gundam. I don't know jack shit about that. Oh, nice. Ooh, nice Robotech. Nice Robotech. Blah, 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 blah. Scrolling down. Whoa, we can't have that.
Kinky says Pew Pew Park as what kind of toy?
The fun kind.
Plane.
The plane, boss. The plane.
The plane.
Well, at least if it was in a Discord chat, it wasn't as bad.
Right. I mean,
let's just say it gave Kinky. Let's just say it gave whole new meaning to the trimming known as a landing strip.
That's true. I didn't even think of that.
You had to think about that for a second, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't even. Well, I mean, I never even thought of that until you said it. As soon as you said it, I was like, I didn't think of that. So, yeah, I just, I mean, as many people, as somebody like Matt's size, 100,000 subs almost, get a couple of thumbs down every video. The wrong person sees that and reports it. You don't want to be dealing with that shit. That would suck.
Yes. And that was far not the worst thing ever posted on Discord. It's just we have files for this kind of thing. Don't be putting
Discord
your red socks in with my white work shirts, and don't be putting your bananas inside the microwave.
Yeah, Discord doesn't have any. I don't. I have a Discord just because I have one, but because when Matt was going to do Discord, I thought maybe he'd be able to, if I ever had to interact with him or something on Discord, at least I'd have one. But I've never even really used it. I did one chat once, and that was it.
It's a lot more laid back than YouTube, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's for geeks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What else? Anything?
What's in the box?
I don't know. I got
Anybody
nothing.
got a what's in the box?
Nope. I got no what's in the box.
A plane.
Yeah.
What kind of plane?
Got a rally coming up in a couple of days. 24th, 25th.
That isn't that one. That is the one at the in Harrisburg on the 24th and 25th. Is it that we are talking about?
Yeah, it's the one that they weren't not talking about. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yes, that's the Harrisburg rally that we're not talking about on the 24th and 25th.
Mm-hmm, that's the one.
Okay, all right.
I thought we weren't talking about the Harrisburg rally on the 24th.
Well, I don't want to let anybody. Also,
Well, we
don't
weren't.
let anybody know. Don't let anybody know that Tuesday we're meeting at the fountain at like 7:15. I don't want anybody to know that. Okay.
And we certainly don't want anybody to know about the free coconut bars.
Well, yeah. I don't think we're going to have free coconut bars this time, but you definitely wouldn't get one. You definitely wouldn't have a chance to get one unless you came at 7:15 by the fountain. So there's that.
And that's at the Harrisburg rally, the 24th or 25th, or we just staying.
And remember, you could use code SNOB
to get free stuff.
SNOB sucks. Yeah, and use code Obnoxious Smokes and Meat Pipe to get yourself a free Gadsden flag pin. I'll be bringing those with me. Anybody wants one, let me know.
Now, the real question I have is, are you actually going to be able to get to where you can actually see something this time? Or am I going to have to stream RL speed onto your channel again?
Well, this time I am not underestimating the amount of people that were standing in line. So yeah, you're actually not allowed to get. They're not opening the doors till 9. So we're gonna meet there. She says make something better than coconut bars. I'm not making anything this time because I don't want to have to worry about not being able to pack it around and do all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna take a backpack with a couple things in it, and that's it. Hopefully I can get in with a backpack. I might not even take that. I might just wear my cargo shorts that have some extra pockets because I want to take an extra power bank and stuff like that. But anyway, oh yeah, so I think at 9 o'clock is when the doors open. So that's why we're going to get there like super early, and we can go there. I got a T-shirt waiting for me because I forget. RL was doing some giveaway on his channel, and I won it. And I forget what it was for. He was gonna say, he's like, oh, I'll send you something or whatever it was. He was gonna send me, and I was like, oh, don't worry about it. He ordered me a T-shirt for the rally, and it's pretty cool. Like, he sent me a picture of it. I don't know if I have it, but let me see if I can find it here and tell you what it says. Yeah, here it is. On the front, it's like, I don't know if you can see it. The flag is kind of like a tattered flag, right? And it says Pro 2A and I vote. And then the back of the shirt says, Pennsylvania citizens will vote out any politician who takes action against the Second Amendment or supports illegal red flag confiscation. Shall not be infringed, shall not be questioned. So that's pretty cool. So I was like, nah, man, just that's more than enough. You just, so they're gonna have those. Wear a sleeveless shirt that reads the right to bear arms. No, man, you get the one with, you got a one that has the arrows that point left and right on to your shoulders with when you get the cut off shirt, and it says, the ones that came out years ago said Obama can't ban these guns. Pow. I like those.
Just wait, Midnight. Next thing you know, you're trying to learn how to flip waffles with your spatula in your mouth.
Spatula. Yeah, I know, right? Fill your pockets with beef jerky and caffeine tablets. There you go.
Well,
It'll be
if
early,
you
you might need
crush
them.
up the caffeine tablets real fine, it'll coat the beef jerky.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Marinate it in caffeine and pineapple.
Sarge, do not be encouraging Two Live Moo to create the next Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah, that's you can't do that. That's if he actually does that, then now it's your fault.
You, sir, are legally liable for any damages and or harms that comes to this poor bovine.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Just terrible. Just terrible.
Turble. That's terrible. Just treble. Bass and treble.
No, it's bass and treble. Bass and trebles.
Treble like the hook?
No, tribbles like the little furry things that were on Star Trek.
Oh, you said bass and treble. I thought you were talking about fishing.
Yeah, bass and tribbles.
Yeah, bass and
things
tribbles.
That look like pet rocks, only I don't think you can use them to take somebody else's pet rock.
I was watching. There's this cool channel I'll listen to, and it's the guy's name's Jerry Skinner, and he's just, I don't know, he's still doing videos, but he's kind of an old timer, and he does these documentary videos on actors, or a lot of them are actors and stuff, and he did one on, God, I forget the guy's name now, but he was talking about Star Trek. He was the original Captain Kirk in the pilot for Star Trek. And
okay, that's why that name sounds familiar.
Rudolph Scott? I think it was Rudolph Scott. Randolph Scott.
So,
yep. So he did the original. He was the original Kirk, and a bunch of other people were the rest of the cast. So they did this pilot for Star Trek, and it went well, and they picked it up. And when they picked it up, they fired every one of them. I guess none of them made it through, and there
was only one that made it through, and that was the
maybe it was Christopher Pike.
Barrett. It was Barrett, who was actually in the original pilot. She was the lieutenant that was the flight officer. That was Margie Barrett. That was Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Oh, really?
But they weren't married at the time.
So I guess other than that, then I guess everybody else, and that's a real bummer, man. That's gotta suck. Like get picked to do this pilot, you do a good job, they think you do a good job, you pick it up and you're like, beat it, we're picking all these, and they wanted it to show their diversity, so that's why they wanted to pick, people of different ethnicities to be on the show, which I understand, but it still sucks for them,
And then the blonde that was actually the girl that played against Captain Kirk, the one that was messed up in the pilot, she actually came back on I think like episode 4 or 5 with in the original series. She had a couple of parts.
That bastard Yankee quarked me. Son of a bitch is live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night with Yanking It with Shooty.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, we couldn't hear him before.
Yeah, he was just thinking that he didn't have sound, so he had an excuse to jump out. That's all.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, well. Yeah, I just looked down and I was like, hey, wait a minute. All right. He didn't even send me a link. What a jerk. Guy could have sent me a link. Leonard Nimoy was in the pilot? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
he
don't remember.
was.
I'm not a huge
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Spock was in the pilot.
Yeah, Leonard Nimoy was in the pilot as well.
Well, he says, well, you did insult him when he arrived. Not really. I don't think he would be insulted by that at all. Scrolling up here. Moose says, skin that smoke wagon and see what happens. That's an awesome quote from Tombstone. It's one of the best quotes ever.
Yeah, between that and I'll be your Huckleberry.
Pew Pew Park says, I'm so manly. I drank unfiltered tap water for the first 3 years I lived in Vegas. Man,
Wow.
Manly man.
As I say, that's not manly. That's just wow. That's taking your life in your own hands there.
Yeah. Unfiltered. Well, that's like living on the Oregon Trail, huh? Becky got bit by a rattlesnake. Timmy's got diphtheria or whatever the hell it was. Was it Billy? I don't remember. A long time ago. I don't know. I mix uranium with mercury in my coffee. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. They really offset each other. It's not that big of a deal. One or the other is bad, but together, no big deal. He's got an iron stomach thanks to his mom's cooking. There you go. Oh man. All right. I think we're dying. What do you think?
Well, everybody's dying.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Remember, boys and girls, from the second you're born, you're dying.
Into that.
You're taking that march ever closer to sweet death.
So what do you guys got going on? Anything going on this week?
I got nothing.
Nah.
Less than nothing.
Are we still live?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're alive. We don't know if you are. I mean, for all we know, you could just be recording.
That's
that orange
true.
cracker bastard could have just replaced him with a recording of Are We Live?
Are we live?
See,
Mad Sexy could have hijacked your link. It might not even be you. I don't know. PP Park says, I don't have Netflix, just Hulu and Amazon Prime. I can't Netflix and chill with girls, only Hulu and screw. That's only a real man would say that. With an iron stomach.
Hulu is free from Sprint.
He says Hulu is free. There you go. I bet that really impresses the chick. Hey, you want to watch Hulu? I got free from Sprint.
Hey, baby, I gets the Hulu free with my Sprint cellular phone mobile telephone.
I got Hulu. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I think that would be more of a Napoleon Dynamite come online right there.
Yeah. See, that's his problem right there. He says, of course, it comes with ads. See, that's what you got to do. You got to pony up that couple of bucks, and then when she comes over, you say, hey, you want to watch Hulu?
With no ads.
I got no ads. Just saying.
Oh, that's good to hear, Moo.
NEA said that his mom went home from the hospital. Went home from the hospital and is doing well. Good.
Good.
Thanks for stealing. Thanks for being a Mr. Espionage and going over there and stealing info.
Unclean. Shun the non-believer.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you don't really worry so much when you hear something happened, but I think you worry when you don't hear anything afterwards. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, something happened to Matt's mom and he had to turn around. It's like, oh, okay. And you're waiting. It's like, oh yeah, she slipped on something and or whatever, and or she's sick or whatever. But when you don't hear anything for 2 or 3 days, and then you start thinking like, oh shit, I hope something bad didn't happen.
Yeah, especially when you get the oh yeah, well, something between a hangnail and deathbed.
Yeah.
Okay, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
And since she is doing well, I feel slightly less of an asshole by saying this. I think it's all NEA's fault. Every time he tries to leave Texas, something shitty happens. He tries to leave to go to look at Idaho with properties with his wife. Nope, wife can't do it. He goes and drives with CloverTac. Well, actually, I think this might be CloverTac's doing. Matt did something to piss him off, and CloverTac just did a little leprechaun magic. And
Yeah, I was gonna say use a little wicked magic on him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened. A wife is asking what happened. I don't know.
I don't think Matt's came out and actually said anything. It's just been, well, yeah, just from Yankee saying it was somewhere between, like you said, a hangnail and, she's 60 seconds from dead.
Right.
So.
Moo says, I'm very sneaky.
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 That's Hawaiian Punch in this water fountain.
Yeah, that was good. That was one of the last. Did Mr. Deeds come out, or did Little Nicky came out? Which one came out last? Little Nicky or Mr. Deeds? Those were.
I think Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds is good. Things started to lose it after that.
No, he didn't even get to the conference. He drove all the way to San Antonio, met up with CloverTac, and then somewhere between San Antonio and Phoenix or wherever, he had to jump out of the car and flap his arms.
Yeah, he never made it to there. No. Yeah, that's good to hear though. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Because the more people asked about it, the more sort of worried about it. That's kind of a shitty feeling.
Hey, but at least Clover had the whole house to himself.
Yeah, they had that apartment or whatever.
I thought. No, wait, it was. No, I think it was within driving distance for G.
Yeah, G's only a little bit further around.
Yeah.
G's only 2.5 hours away, like the same way. I'm about the same distance as G is.
Yeah, I would have loved to go. I really enjoyed listening to it, and I know some people, were saying how, they didn't find a lot of the speakers very exciting to listen to or whatnot. But and people had complaints about this, that, and the other thing. But man, I just don't get a chance to do much of that stuff, and I'd have loved to have been able to go. Just to sort of take it all in and meet some people and just listen to the opinions. And it's not, I think what kind of people don't think about either is it's not always what they say up on as part of their speech. It's the fact that you get to listen to them in conversations with other people and get in conversations with them and hear them, just talking shop, that seems so interesting to be able to be around,
Yeah.
Mr. Deeds came out 2 years after Little Nicky. Yes, okay. Yeah.
Main thing is, next one was what, 8 Crazy Nights?
Well, that's true. That was pretty good too.
Grown-Ups was pretty good.
Yeah, Grown Ups wasn't bad. Yeah. Grown Ups was funnier than it should have been. I didn't think Grown Ups was going to be all that good. But there was a couple characters. Nick Schwartzen's character in that was crazy. The crazy bus driver with like schizophrenia or whatever. I guess he was schizophrenic or something. I don't know. He was nuts.
Anybody who willingly drives a school bus is immediately nuts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
You're welcome. And if that was a dig saying that I'm an asshole, thank you even more. I try very hard to be so.
Not at all. I'm used to it. I don't think offense to that kind of stuff. Unlike some.
Oh, great. Why do I have a feeling that I'm going to wake up in an hour or so and there's going to be a bus just sitting in my driveway, just laying on the fucking horn for hours?
He's gonna back it right up to your bedroom window and let the exhaust just blast in there all night while you're sleeping.
Yeah, it'll be a nice, pretty white one. And just remember, if you see anybody coming out of the door, they're in orange, just holler and let me know, and we'll come down there and take care of it for you.
Now, you see, I don't think Obnoxious would go through all that trouble of just getting rid of me. I mean, he's already lawyering up, saying something about infringement of intellectual property and corporate espionage, which neither me or the Diet Beef Soda Zero Corporation have any knowledge of.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Intellectual property is a big deal nowadays, man.
Yeah. All you gotta do is just buy up enough patents, and one of these days you can sue someone and get millions of dollars for infringing something that you bought and did absolutely nothing with.
I was gonna say, didn't even want anything to do with to begin with, right? Yeah. All right, let's lock it up. You guys got anything obnoxious? You got anything coming on you want to plug?
No.
Night on call.
Rich, you got anything going on?
Not until next week.
You buy a tux and tell people you're opera man. There you go. Glimtech, you got anything going on?
A whole lot of nothing.
You didn't make it up there to the conference at all, right? You didn't even go.
I did not. I had all intentions of getting there, and we had some vehicular issues. Mm-hmm. But then again, from what I understand from yesterday, there was a lot of issues. People tried to get there yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to get up there, but then again, then I found out that Yankee was there, and I'm kind of glad I'm not going.
Yeah. He did kiss and make up with Maj, so that's kind of good, and that's kind of cool,
Well, you mean you didn't want to walk up to him and say, "Hey, ain't you that James Yeager noir guy?"
No, I just would have sent a couple of my MCSO buddies in there to go, yeah, you see that guy right there? Yeah, you need to go hook him up and get him out of here for a little while and mess with him.
Go shoot a taser in the back of that guy's neck.
Yeah, there you go.
Excuse me, sir, is your name Abdul Hakim Hussein Samson?
Samsonite. Mary Samsonite. Sarge, what's going on? Anything?
I'm going to find out how my day goes. I guess today now, tomorrow, because I'm going to sleep a little bit. I've got a little revolver video I want to do tomorrow, and then a rifle video this week. So I actually have a few things planned.
The robots have gotten Sarge. Everybody just back away slowly.
They're keeping an eye on him. Yeah, the robots are keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, well, maybe if I actually get the email with the link for the match today, since it was recorded, maybe I might actually post a video.
Well, there you go. Awesome.
Maybe. Well, first I got to get the link and I got to get the video. That's the first time you do.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. If you guys are friends with CS Blue, on Instagram. If you follow him, he posts a lot of he throws a lot of videos up of his matches. It's cool to watch. Never had a chance to do anything like that. Someday, as horrible as I would do, it'd be really interesting to just slow go it. Not push it, not try and go too fast. Just shoot for score. But I'm really interested in doing something like that sometime. Do a 2-gun or a 3-gun.
Trying to think. I know they used to have them down at Fleetwood Rod and Gun because I used to shoot in them and I used to run it. But that was a few years ago. I don't know if they're still doing it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really looked into it because it's just so hard to find a time. And I mean, usually you see them on Saturdays or Sundays, or usually you see them on Saturdays, and I just can't make it. So, people try and do that. They don't do a whole lot of stuff on Sundays a lot of times. Well, whatever. So 2 things. One, before we leave, check out the this rally that's floating around on November 2nd in the capital of the U.S. Down in D.C. Second Amendment rally. Obnoxious just threw it in the chat there. So throw that out or check that out. It's Saturday, so that's cool for most people. Not so much for me, but it's nice that they'll do something on a Saturday and gives people the next day to travel or recuperate from from all the hustle and bustle. I will say I've driven through Harrisburg, DC a couple times. It can be a nightmare. So I know Kingpin was talking in the chat the other day about some tips and pointers about how to maybe go about getting there. And so maybe hit him up when you see him. If you have any questions, he seemed to really know his way around. I know when we went through on our way back from Outer Banks, I think it was Outer Banks. Holy shit, that was a mess. And we didn't even realize it until we were coming back that it was taking us through rather than around, because when we went down, it took us around. So when we were on our way back, I wasn't really paying attention. Next thing you know, I was like, holy shit, where are we? I definitely would have opted not to go that way. But, driving somewhere you've never been before, you don't realize it until it's too late. But that was a mess.
Hey, tell your wife I sent her a friend request on Instagram.
Oh, okay. I think you just told her.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Mia,
I didn't know she was still there.
This guy who's talking to your husband sent you a creepy friend request on the Instagrams.
Yes, I did.
I'd gone even it was before that I'd gone down and it was fine, but that time coming back was a nightmare. So it really depends on when you're going and what you're going. I don't know if a Saturday would be better or worse. I'm not sure. I think we came back Friday.
Like I said, just stay out of DuPont Circle.
Yeah, I believe we came back on a Friday, and it was a mess. When I went down, it might have been a Sunday, so I don't know. But so to keep that in mind, plan your trip. Don't just be I'll hop in the car and I'll go down. Definitely look ahead a little bit and maybe ask some people that know their way around what to do, because a lot of times it might behoove you to go somewhere and take a bus or take a train or something like that, maybe even, you know what I mean? So
yeah, well, you're still under daylight savings time there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just make sure you're out of there by 6 o'clock. Don't be in DC after dark.
Yeah.
And don't be in DC after dark, unless of course you're very well armed.
Right.
Which you're not going to be if you're in DC.
You wouldn't be. You wouldn't. There would be no. Yeah, you wouldn't be.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So you're not going to be. So get the hell out of Dodge.
Yes.
She says I think it was back from AC, not What?
She thinks she's talking to obnoxious, maybe.
Atlantic City and not Outer Banks.
Banks. There's
Where's
no
an
way.
X in the word banks?
I don't know, but that's how they abbreviate it. It's Outer
Yeah,
Banks.
when we come back from Atlantic City, you don't go down that way. There's no way. That would be hours out of our way.
So,
But
Limtech, in other words, what you're saying is it's kind of like, or DC is kind of like the Omega Man, or for people of the younger generation, I Am Legend. As soon as the light goes down behind the buildings,
Yep, pretty much.
Ron,
Well,
you
then come
need
the
to find a
zombies.
sturdy shelter.
yeah, and
Even though
make
I
sure
spent-
make sure it's bulletproof.
Even though I was only in DC for a week, but that was about 20 years ago. So
Yeah, we were down there for a conference, and it was like we were like 3 blocks off of Pennsylvania Avenue, and the guys told us, hey, make sure you're in the hotel room by dark. Don't be roaming around.
Yeah,
we're like, oh, okay, they got a hotel room full, a hotel full of cops, and all you hear was pop, 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 pop. Like, okay, here we go. Everybody's sitting there with their guns in their laps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no intention to be in DC at night. I'll probably drive up there Friday and see my sister since she's in the area, and I'll stay outside DC, whether I stay with her or someplace else outside DC, and then I'll go in for the rally, and that's at 1:00, and I'll leave when it's over and start heading home.
Yeah. I wish I could make it. I wouldn't. It's not that bad of a drive. It's just I just can't guarantee. I mean, who knows? I mean, if something would happen that it turns out that I would be able to do it, I would definitely do it. But I can't even imagine being able to commit to something. But so yeah, I mean, one thing that people have been saying too that's really really smart is if you can't go and you can support somebody that is going, do that. If you can, if you throw a couple of bucks to somebody for some gas money or something, that's awesome to do. It's not e-begging, it's not whatever. It's like, hey, I'm glad that you can go and I can't, so here's a little something something. Grab yourself some gas or a snack on the way. Also, like we talked about Tuesday and Wednesday here over in for Harrisburg, early Tuesday. Keep an eye out for a live stream from me or Black Cat. Again, I might try and live stream. We'll see. I might try and open it up from the house and then drive down. We'll see what happens. But I would keep an eye out for Black Cat more so because he can mobile. He can live stream mobily. I really can't. So, as effectively. So
if you need something, it's when is the 24th and 25th?
It's Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday. Just email me. I'll set up a StreamYard and invite you in, and you can go for mine if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see. We'll see what happens. If I can set it up in the morning and it looks like it's going to work, and then I'll just do what I can. You know what I mean? And if not, maybe I'll shoot you guys an email, a couple of people an email, and whoever wants to do it can do it. We'll see. That's not a big deal. I mean, I don't know that it's going to be super, super interesting. It's them talking. I don't think there's going to be any people, any citizens or whatever, the public are going to be able to go up and ask questions or anything. I think it's just them going over things. But so that even makes it, that's why it's even more important that people show up that are obviously pro-gun, pro-2A, wear the hat, the shirt, some buttons. That's why I got the buttons, because they're going to have to be able to look out on the crowd and see that people are obviously there for a reason and not, because we aren't going to be able to get up and talk. So those two things. And last but not least, Bloke's 2 cents. If you haven't got in on that, get in on it. Got a sick kid and her family that are, looking for some help. Apparently, from what I've talked to him lately, she's continuing to slowly improve, but the financial hit that they've taken is, it's unrecoverable. I'm sure they're going to have to do something, but for now,
Fluff was on my show talking about it earlier. They have hospital bill of $35,000 a day for every day she was in the ICU, and they're looking at another $30,000 for her stay in the rehab hospital.
Yeah. So, that's something that I'm sure, honestly, with everything going on, I'm sure that they're just like, you can't even think about that. You can't even, you can't even really worry about that. You just got to worry about the kid. But they're doing the fundraiser, and at the very least, that fundraiser can get a little bit of money in their account, a little bit of money in their pocket for, incidental stuff, for travel, for staying at hotels, for food, and I'm sure there's family that's wanting to come and see the kiddo. So, it's nice for them to be able to, have a little bit of money to put towards, possibly having some family travel or, setting a family up and stuff like that. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around it. Having it all go down the way it went down, like it went from zero to, she went from fine to, for all intents and purposes, them probably thinking that she was not going to make it within a matter of minutes, really, I guess. I can't really wrap my head around how shaken up that must make you. I don't know that you'd ever get over that. And that's something that shows the fragility of life, and seeing the fragility of life in a child. That's got to be something that changes you forever. So get over there and donate. You got the chance to win something that 99% of us would probably, or maybe not 99% of us, but many of us would not be able to own. You pick up a suppressor with the tax stamp, and now they're throwing in a Kevlar. It's pretty awesome. They said the Kevlar vest is on the small side, so if you do win it and you can't use it, you could always sell it. You could do whatever you want with it for now. You can, it's not a restricted item, so you could do with it what you please. Or donate it or do whatever. I don't know. It's whatever you want. But so jump over there, take care of it. I don't have a link to it set up. I could look for one, but you can go to Bloke's channel, a Bloke's 2 cents. Rich White just did it. There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Rich. Go check it out. It's a pretty bitchin' suppressor, man. No, Rich already got it. You're good. Oh, you can throw it in there again if you get it. No big deal. Throw it in there a million times. I don't. So I've been trying to start out live streams with talking about it, because I get more views on a live stream than I do a video. So I'm gonna do a video. I want to do a video. I'm gonna knock a video out too, but I want to make sure I talk about it on the live streams, because I get more views on a live stream than I do a video anyway. So that's important. But go over there and donate.
And I just dropped a link right to the GoFundMe for it. So even if you can't donate, share that out on your social media. Share it to the Twitter, share it to Facebook, get it out there, get some eyeballs on it.
You can donate. You can donate $1.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think there's anybody out there that can't throw a buck at it. If you don't, like, I don't know, man. I don't. Yeah, I think there's I don't think there's anything. There's too many funds out there that are better than this one. If you can't donate to this one, I don't know what the hell you would donate to. So, the winner could always have them keep and sell it for the girl if they don't have use for it. Right, for sure. And that's what I mean. That's what that's what I mean. Like if you if you get the vest and you sell it and you don't, or you get it and don't want it, sell it, donate the money back to them, or do your own giveaway with it. There's nothing to say that you got a vest and you want to do your own giveaway for it and you get a couple $100 and you just donate it to them. George says, I spent all my cash on Night Strike's gun tube. Go out and go shake that. Go. I'll tell you what. Put the phone down for a second. Go to your couch and lift up the seat cushions. I bet you'll find enough to donate. Do what you can. So, Ape, you want to take us out? You haven't been on in a while. You've been workifying late, huh?
Yeah, they finally had some parts for me to whittle. So,
Yeah.
so
I heard that picking bananas at night is the best way to go.
well, it beats selling oranges out on the street, but
Yeah,
especially since you can't wing them at the people who flip you off. So.
Oh, sure you can. Well, you got to be careful because you throw those bananas. The banana peel gets in the road.
If I whip them at them, I got to leave my street corner, and then the midget tranny hookers try and take it over. And those are not people you want to fight with. They have knives, and they are right at groin height. Yeah, so now that we have that lovely visual in everybody's head, ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out GunChannels.com for more Pro 2A content. GunChannels.com is a community focused on firearms, built for shooters, by shooters, for conversations somewhat like this. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back around 9 a.m. Eastern with the early watch, followed by open lobbies throughout the day. GunChannels.com Monday night programming. At 5 p.m. Eastern, it's Hasty Headlines with Never Enough Ammo. At 7 p.m. Eastern, it's Polite Society Podcast on the Facebook. At 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Clovertax MOA Monday, only on Instagram, and Hawaii Volcano Squad's Locked and Loaded on YouTube. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek, which may or may not be happening this week. At 10 p.m. Eastern every other week, it's Intentionally Left Blank, and every weeknight at midnight, it's The Daily Gun Show. Also, check out GunTube.org as a free and unrestricted Pro 2A video platform. If you like what you see, go over to Patreon and help support the platform. Or, if you're extra cool, you could go over and try to use GunTube Chamber for hosting your live streams. Hint, hint, hint.
I didn't get a chance to, and last week I screwed it up.
Hint.
Maybe if Night Strike did
for cool
better,
and unique swag, go over to gearwebsites.com. And remember, a hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy, and never eat fudge that comes from a place called Uranus.
Yes. Rob, New York Outcast, he's got the cheapest kid on the planet. He said, not if he's got a kid like mine. She catches it as I drop it, talking about spare change in the seat cushion. I said, oh, it never hits the floor, huh? And he said, you got it. And she's always checking the washer flap. Always checking the washer filter for some nickels. Well, all right. We'll find it somewhere. I'll tell you what. If you can't donate, fine, so be it. Like I guess I hear you. Share it. Do a video. If you've never done a video on YouTube, this is the best. This is the best way to do it. This is the best first video you could do. Put it out there. Promote the shit out of it. If you get a couple of people that donate because of it, great. Also, hit it up some of the other channels. Push it on them. Send them emails. Send emails to other people to do videos. There's people out there that have a big reach, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 subs or whatever. Push it on them. Let them know what's going on. Hit them up on Instagram. Hit them up on, I don't have Facebook really, but some of the other ones, and let them know about it. It's worth it. It really is. So, if you can't put the money into it, put the effort into it instead. because you can help drum up some money. You look at the pictures of this little critter sitting in a bed with a trach in her neck. That doesn't make you want to do something. I don't know what does. So, she collects the newer quarters. She wants all the states to spends the rest on her pets. There you go, little quarter collection.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well,
right.
you know, they got some pretty interesting designs on some of the new state park quarters.
There you go.
Yeah, especially when they're
Don't
shiny.
tell Rob's kid that. She'll have. He probably. Yeah, I'm sure he won't tell her that.
No, they've been doing the state park quarters since they got done doing the state quarters. Will we ever have George Washington and the Eagle together again? Find out later. Story at 11.
Yeah, watch next week's show. Maybe we'll let you know. All right.
And
but
Pew
until
Pew,
then,
I think you're doing something other than multitasking if you're calling me fine ale.
Oh.
Yes. Go watch my beer and pizza videos.
Do
it.
Maybe what he was doing, he was just saying he just had his finale. Maybe whatever, he was multitasking. I'm not saying, I'm not pointing fingers.
Well, now hold on. He was just going on and on about how he spent all this money on this super fun camera that makes any YouTube video immediately look like a Michael Bay, Christian Bale production camera, and he's doing his last video with it. Now that's a tax write-off if I ever heard one.
Bastard.
You son of a bitch! You're taking away from my Medicaid! This is going to start offending everybody now. And on that note.
All right. Sorry, I was just reading something. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Take it easy. Have fun. I'll see you later.
Hey, remember, every second matters every day.
Shall not be infringed.
Remember, if the second's being infringed anywhere, it's being infringed everywhere.
And don't pee in the food box.
Please refrain from urination in the cold storage food box.
Don't do none of that stuff.
Don't even think about